Well, good afternoon, good morning, good Tuesday to everybody. How y'all doing? It's a good day to be in crypto, especially if you're looking for a bottom buy. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there, just like I told you. Just like the Magic Chicken Bones foretold 2 months ago, the crash is coming. So, we're going to cover a little bit of stuff that happened here over the last 24 to 48 hours, falling right in line with my evil plan. Mwahaha. So everything's working out just beautifully. So we're going to go ahead and cover that here in just a couple minutes. Let me kill the mic here for just a second, get a couple things set up, let social media know that we're live for crypto therapy, and I will be right back. Hang tight. We'll be back in 2 and 2. Okay, everybody, thank you very much for dealing with me here, for just waiting for just a second. As always, we always have that little bit of silence as I get everything set up. So, for all you guys that are new here to the live stream, thank you very much for joining me. My name's Red Baron. I am from the unfairadvantage.chat. That's our crypto get together group, where it's free to join. You're more than welcome to join us. Just behave yourself when you come on in. We'd love to have you be a part of what we're doing. And of course, today we're going to be using charts provided by Fibicharts.com. That's a AI powered charting process that is unlike anything you've ever seen on YouTube before. And I'm about to lay out a case that I guarantee you, your jaw is about to hit the floor. When you see the degree of accuracy, when you see the long range calls come to pass that are absolutely unforgivably accurate, it's going to absolutely floor you. If you guys have been looking for a long time for something you can believe in, I'm speaking to you guys that are new to the live stream. If you're tired of investing in these goofballs that just, they follow the trends. Oh, it's going up. Oh, it's going down. And you follow and you put good hard earned money behind it and you lose your ass. We're here to help you get your ass back. So, what we do is we use AI powered charts and we are extremely accurate in what we do, deadly accurate. And in fact, the calls come in actually what we call to the pixel. When we give a call, it comes in literally on the chart, almost exactly to the pixel where we call it to. Just simply a matter of time and just kind of holding on, waiting for the call to come in. We maintain about a 93.8% accuracy rate now. The rates are getting better and better as ISIS, our AI powered bot, we get smarter and smarter every single day. And Anubis is our long range forecasting thing. So we just did you'll probably hear in the chat or read in the chat something about Roundtable. That's an insider thing that was done last night for the Diamond Group that was allowed for the people that wanted to subscribe and kind of get in, look over the fence, and hear what goes on in the upper echelon VIP parts of the group. And it's quite an eye-opening thing last night, wasn't it, guys? Dropped a lot of bombs. Dropped a Hiroshima amount of bombs last night, didn't I? And so we're probably going to do that again here, so you guys get double value. So we're probably going to do a second live stream inside that. So if you guys want to be a part of that, find out what that's all about, you can go ahead and head on over to Fibicharts.com. And this is where you get the charts at too, by the way. Let's go ahead and cover that real quick. So just go to Fibicharts.com if you want to get the charts that I'm using here with the unfair advantage grid built into it with the AIs and stuff like that. Simply go to subscribe right here and just go to subscribe now. Let me talk about the roundtable here just real quick. Hold on just a second. So Roundtable was an event that happened last night. It's a 15-day pass, and basically all that is you just click on this. And then what this was about, what'd you say, guys? About an hour and a half video where basically I broke down the entire market, how it works, how it really works, what to do to be prepared for the next 30, 60, 90, 6 months. What's coming, guys, is absolutely nothing what you expect. And if you're not ready for it, you're going to lose what little you have left. If you're positioned correctly, if you're using the charts, if you're using the information that we provide, you're going to come out smelling like a rose. You're going to be coming out smelling like a whole damn garden, and it's going to be amazing. But I want to be able to help as many of you guys make smart, accurate, financially savvy decisions with your money, and that's what we do here. Well, that's why we call this cryptotherapy. So if you want to get involved in the charts, if you want to subscribe to our charts, you simply go over to Fibicharts.com, go to subscribe, and you can get in as cheap as $24 starting at the bronze level. We cover a couple different coins: Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, XRP. Let's go ahead and go to the Tell Me More here. This will show you a little bit more. You can subscribe from either page. This shows you what comes in every single package. So you can get in, you can kind of check us out, see if we really are the real deal. Starting as $24, $24.95, and then you can step on up at any time. A lot of guys come in and within days they're like, wow, this is amazing. And they step up to the silver and to the gold. And obviously the more you subscribe, the more coins you get. When you get into the gold, you get into the platinum, you get VIP access. Platinum is ultimately where most people end up, and platinum is probably the best value that they offer because we have two levels of chat. We have the general chat and we have the VIP chat for platinum, and that's where the price calls. When I do my stuff, it's like looking over my shoulder and kind of copying my homework. So even if you don't really truly understand what you're doing, you've got a group of master traders that are in here, guys that have been trained, learned my system, and of course me, I'm in there too. So but you've also got access to all these coins, and we just added 5 more. We added XDC, synthetics. Let me see. Remind me, guys. I forget what else they added over there at Fibicharts, but there's been some new ones that have been added. So this is actually an outdated list. There's actually even more, and this list is always growing. So we're pumping over 100 coins, 100 top coins right now that we're tracking. You don't want to track too many. You just want to track the ones that stand the statistical odds of making the most money. So we tend to prune out the dogs out of this. And speaking of dogs, we do carry Shiba. We do carry Doge in this now. I don't see Shiba in this list, but it is on there. And so we do watch those things. And we don't watch baby Doge because that's kind of a junk coin, stuff like that. But we do, and Tel, thank you. Tel was another that was added. And we've got quite a few of them. We're always watching for new hot coins that have relevance that aren't meme coins, because there's nothing worse than being the last person to join the party and the doors closed and you get left out on the porch holding your empty bag. So that kind of sucks, and we don't want to see that happen for you. So all right, so without much ado here, let's go ahead and take a look and see what's been going on in the market. Hang on just 1 second. Okay, so we're working off the platinum. This is what you see when you subscribe to platinum. This is the interface that you get. You have all these coins that you can access. You can see there's Shiba, there's Doge, and of course we have a whole bunch more that we've added. So, and again, like I said, I was looking for ICP was the other one. So we've added ICP, SNX, Telcoin, and quite a few more. So we've added also XDC. So let's go ahead and start with the number one thing we want to talk about here, and I'll just sweep this chart over here. This is our AI-powered chart that we have, excuse me, and that has a system in here called ISIS, which is these lines that go left to right. I got to bring everybody up to speed that's new to the broadcast. So these lines that go left to right, the green lines are Fibonacci lines. These are not, the bronze lines that are in here are not Fibonacci lines. They're part of our AI system called ISIS. And what these things do is they predict the literal statistic highs and lows. So literally, if you guys like to short, let me show you how incredibly accurate this is. So when we put in a call, and we say, okay, it's going to go down a certain line. It'll go right down to that line, hit it, stop, bounce, reverse. But you can see they just dance between these lines perfectly, again and again and again. It's absolutely amazing. It's jaw-dropping to watch. The members that have been in our group for probably 3-4 months, they're still in awe of what they see, and rightly so, because this is a system that we've developed over the last year and a half that there isn't anything else like it on YouTube. So this is what we call the unfair advantage system. So speaking of that, if you guys would like to join us here real quick before we get into the charts, obviously just join us at our Discord. This is free. We would love to have you come in, and we do give free calls in there too, so you don't have to subscribe to anything. Just come in, join the chats, see if we're real, listen to the testimonies. I mean, I'm not going to give you a sales pitch because I don't need to. The guys that are in the group will tell you this is where you want to be. This is what you want to do. So join us over at the unfairadvantage.chat. There's no charge to be in that, and just see for yourself. Happy people, they tend to be the best salesmen. So those guys will tell you exactly where you want to be and why you want to be there, because there's a lot of people getting fantastic results from what we're doing. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at your Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, let me clear this out here a little bit. All right, so here again is the AI lines, these bronze lines. Look at how beautifully that just dances right between those lines. So now this is the 6-hour chart. And to go back and cover this for guys that are new to the live stream, I have been calling for a crash to 24,000 and then on to damn near probably 18,000, maybe even lower than that. And I've been doing it for over 2 months. Some of these goofballs on YouTube have been saying, we're going to the moon, we're going to $100,000. Recently, I kind of smirked to myself, because recently all of those so-called experts have turned on their heels now, and they're going, you know, guys, I kind of think we might be going to 25,000. Yes, we are, and lower. And I've been saying it for months and months and months. And so, you know, it's funny because eventually they all come around to see the obviousness of what I've been pointing out for quite a while here. Make no mistake about it. We are going to be going to 24,000 at the most conservative. Now let's go back and review what's been talked about here, so you guys don't have to sit through hours and hours of live stream. We came at this is again the 6-hour. We came at this with the assumption that this was a head and shoulders, and I told you there's your shoulder, there's your head now on the 6-hour, and I told you when we break right about here, which we did quite a few days ago, weeks ago actually, that nullifies the formation of the classic head and shoulders. Now, they've been using TA against everybody. All these guys that are using TA and resting solely on TA, and they don't have anything like our unfair advantage grid, they're basically saying, you know, well, we know all these guys think they know what they're doing, and they're using that information against you guys. And so I watched this, and then when it started to obviously show, when it broke out of the head and shoulders and broke from here to here, I knew pretty much the jig was up and the game was over. So I told everybody, now I'm not going to nullify this and say this is not going to happen, because what should have happened, classically speaking, let's go ahead and put this back in. I know there's a lot of trash here. I'll get rid of it here just to help out. What classically should have happened is we should have dropped equivalent to basically, I'll just sketch this out. So we should have this formation right here being the head. We should have dropped about yay much. And you just basically take that right there and you drop it down. I'm just freehanding this. You drop it down to the head and shoulders, and that puts you right down here into the box, which we already have, which, holy hell, man, that puts you sub $12,000. Now, in and of itself, that's enough to kind of hang your hat on. And I believe that will play out still. Even though we are not going according to the classic head and shoulders, they're kind of faking everybody out. Let me go ahead and get some of this trash out here again. Now, 24,000 being down here at this level, let's see, right about there. We are already heading that direction, but this is ultimately where TA would have you go, is down into the 12,000, sub 12,000, even as low as 10,000. That's a bit crazy, and I don't think I'm willing to subscribe to that. However, when we got completely out of the head and shoulders formation, then people started to reverse and say, well, you know, I don't think we're going to go down. We're going to go to $100,000. Like, make up your damn mind, guys. And it just doesn't, excuse me for just a second, I'm going to shut my mic off here. Sorry about that. I have some throat problems, guys. So I'm going to try to be cognizant of not clearing my throat on mic. I know that's hard to listen to. So anyway, where we should be going is classically down into the $12,000, $18,000 things, but we didn't go that way. However, we have something we call the unfair advantage. We use our AI bots that gather statistical analysis and data from way back, since the first time, the first candle on this chart. And it takes statistical averages, and it takes move motions, and it takes distances of drops, distances of rises, and you know, has this special sauce that it puts together that can give us these amazing grids that tell us that with all probabilities, highs and lows, where we should be going. And I've been saying for well over 2 months that we are going to be going to $25,000 conservatively. And as we got closer to this, I refined that because we started to gather data, and I said at 24,000 is we're going to go ahead and call 24,000. Now, no one was even talking about that at that point. I was hearing things like, "Oh, we're going to go to 80,000. Oh, we're going to go to $100,000." Well, we'll have that conversation when that time comes. But unless and until we hit my goals, those goals are not going to happen. So we are going to see 24,000. And now we're making the case. Let's go ahead and get right down to the nitty gritty here, and let's talk turkey here real quick. So this is really where it all breaks down, and this all played out last night. So we've been watching this. Let me get right in here where I can really chalk talk this. So we've been watching this green box. This has really been the thing that this may not seem like much of a formation, but oh my God, this thing was excruciating to sit through. It doesn't seem, on a 6-hour candle, I mean, it's that was 4.5 days of the longest 4.5 days of everybody's life, I think, that's in the live stream, because it just wouldn't break. It wouldn't break, and I kept telling everybody, wait, 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 it will break. Have faith. Hold, hold, hold. Don't freak out. It will drop. And last night, I was in Roundtable, and I told everybody in Roundtable, this was our VIP thing that we did last night. I told it's about ready to happen. Our bots started to do some crazy shit last night, and I said something's about to happen. And the minute I got off the Roundtable, boom, down she went. I mean, that's how accurate this system is. You can call it literally to the minute sometimes. And as I've been known to do many, many times with Matic and with a few others, I'll tell guys, hey, I think this thing's going to go up, and like within an hour, this thing is shooting to the moon or dropping to the floor. Depends upon the call. Now, where we're at now, we've dropped in the green box. Now, to go back and kind of bring everybody up to speed with what I thought about this, I did a darker green box and a lighter green box. And I told everybody, let's go back a few comments. I told everybody that we were going to start this process on or around about, what was it? I think the 13th or the 15th. I can't remember the date. I told everybody this is when we're going to start to see stuff happen, and that was up here. And then within the day of the start of the event, am I still kicking from last night? No, I actually slept. I've been up, so I slept pretty good knowing my predictions are No, I'm actually sleeping pretty well. So I actually, inside joke, guys. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to divert my conversation here. So I have a habit of staying up till 4 o'clock in the morning. So I'm not doing that right now. So anyway, back to this. So I made the call here. I said, you guys, we're gonna go into this. We're gonna go into this zone. So we dropped down. We've been following this channel beautifully, and it's actually a smaller channel inside of a larger channel. And so we've been watching this, and it just has not given up the ghost. Finally, it did. On live stream on Roundtable last night, I said, the bots are getting crazy. They're doing something I've never seen them do before. They just kept recalculating and recalculating and recalculating. And that's pretty much indicative of a system that's being jiggled with and screwed with by the master exchanges. So I told them, I said, something's about to happen. And, this may not seem like much of a something, but in Bitcoin standards, it's huge, guys. A 6% drop, over 6% drop, 6.5% drop on Bitcoin, it's pretty damn big. When you're talking $30,000 coin, a 6.5% drop is rather substantial. Nobody wants to lose that kind of money. But it happened. Now, are we done? No, because again, back to the green box. I told you this is really what we call the point of last resort. And by that, I mean this is the last bottom that we can hit, spend any time on before we can reverse and go up. And I have zero faith this is going to hold out. I'm really looking at this as being a major signpost on the road to hell. Road to hell being down in $18,000 or underneath that. And so I painted it green, not red, because for us, our group is looking to accumulate. We're not looking to sell. We're not looking to make money on Bitcoin. We're just using Bitcoin as a guidepost for everything else. We'll talk about what Bitcoin truly means to us in the group as we get through this broadcast for you new guys. And so really what we're looking for is this green box. I said earlier that, we're going according to a certain time frame, and we slowed down. We just didn't really do much. And I said, as this thing starts to pick up, it's going to pick up a head of steam. It's going to drop faster and faster and quicker and deeper and deeper. And we kind of stalled a little bit. So what I predicted would happen is we would hit this green box, and we would kind of ping pong along a little bit. Now, we went down into it. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that we're in it to stay. We are following my latest prediction. I said we are going to go into the deep green box and spend a little time there. Now, let's look a little bit deeper at this and see exactly what can really be expected. Now, there's a couple things I like and a couple things I don't like. More things I like. Now, we're out of this channel. That's a good thing. So as long as we don't go back up into this, now we've still got 2 hours and 4 minutes left on this candle. Basically, we get to the next candle, I'll let you know. But right now, it's looking like we're coming out of red. We're the whole menagerie is starting to go positive a little bit, with the exception of this green alligator. And let's talk about the alligator here. The alligator is this formation here: the green, red, blue. We like when we're pushing for down, we want to see green be very far away from red and blue, and it absolutely is. Second indicator, we want to see this bubbly little formation here, called the Bollinger Band. Let me go out a little bit. That's this kind of ghosty looking thing here. We want to see that spread. What happens is we get basically right there. We get kind of a pinch. Sorry, you can't see that with everything else that's going on. Let me kind of do this for you. Basically, we get a pinch right there. Now, when we get a pinch, that means, and that happened, you'll notice happened right there. When we come out of a pinch, that means we're ready to explode either up or down. Now, obviously, all the indicators are pointing down, so we are going to be going down. So this is part of the unfair advantage. You put this with the grid that tells you the distance and the velocity and the direction. You look at the time markers, which are these lines that go up and down, that tell you not only where it's going to go to, but when it's going to happen. There is no other charts that you can subscribe to that can tell you that. That is amazing to be able to have the ability to say, in 2 hours, this is going to drop like a rock, and be pretty accurate in your calls to believe that. And so we've been proving that. We'll go over a few past calls, more than a few past calls, and I'm sure you'll be quite shocked by what you see here, how accurate this system actually is. So back to the point here. So where we're at right now is we're working inside of this triangle right here. That's where the action's at right now. So what I'm expecting to see happen is I did expect that we ping pong around a little bit in this. We're back on schedule. We had taken so long to play through this that I think it kind of nullifies the amount of time we're going to spend in the dark green, and that's fine because now we're into the lighter green, which is the point of last hold. Now, what we're going to do at this point, I believe we're going to spend some time in this right here. Now, can we put a time frame on how long this nonsense is going to happen before we go ahead and take the tumble down? I can put it to the day. You've got 5 days inside of this triangle, which puts it on Sunday, America's time. So you've got between now and midnight on Sunday to watch this triangle play out. Now, there's a couple things that will play out, probably, the way triangles work. You can expect this to happen. One of two things. Now, a triangle classically will play out right to the very bitter end, and then it will do what it's going to do. So it'll go like this, and then it'll do something like that. We have not seen that happen with any degree of accuracy or probability or believability for a very, very long time. So what we do see is we see quite the opposite, something that I have coined a J-hook. What it is, let's say, for example, I'll go ahead and pull out the real TA, teach you a few things here if you guys have never learned this stuff before. All right, so let's go ahead and do this and start there. Okay, so now if we're looking at a triangle here, we always use the opening part of the triangle as being the next move distance, or what we term velocity. Now, if we're using this, velocity tells us this. Velocity says that we're going to go, or classic TA, pardon me, says that this is the move that should happen, and we should play out right to, let's just say right there, just kind of be a little sloppy about it, to right there. All right. Now that's if you're following nothing but TA, you don't have the system, you don't have this grid, you don't have the AI bots, you don't know anything about what I'm talking about. You learned this in a book. Some joker taught this to you on YouTube, so you hang your hat on it and you think that you're a Wall Street genius now. This is the way that everybody plays the game. The old schoolers, the new schoolers, and everybody in between. This is the way they play the game. Now, do not think for a single second that the exchanges don't know that. So they have a little tool in their bag called a J-hook, and this is something that I kind of coined the phrase because I'm good at pattern recognition. It's something that I just do. I'm an engineer by trade, so I'm always looking for things. So what they'll do instead. So let's call this let's call this a I don't know. Let's try to put it in terms of understanding. Let's just call this a 10-inch move. Okay, I know it's not inches, but just I have to give you a number to kind of work with. So let's say this is a 10-inch move. What they will do is they will do this. They will run it the opposite direction, 5 inches. In other words, half the distance. And they'll turn it and they'll drop it like this. Happens all the time. This is probably more predictable than following classic TA. We've seen this. How many times would you guys say we've seen this happen this week? Probably at least 6 or 7 times. Every time we get into a triangle, almost 100% of the time we get into a triangle, you'll see a J-hook. Now, if it's the opposite direction, you can see it hook up or whatever. But whatever you think it's going to do, it does 50% of the opposite. Gets you to commit, gets you to pay money to the exchange, gets you to enter a position long or short or whatever. Then it wrecks you. Takes your money, gets you to reposition, gets you 5 times, coming in, going out, selling, taking the loss, blah, blah, blah. We covered all that stuff before. This is a pure wreck you move, is all this is. So be prepared to see that happen. But just because it goes up coming out of this triangle, I know what I'm talking about. Now I can also kind of plug in another little thought to this. I'll tell you almost with absolute authority where this is going to go. In fact, I can see it. When this goes up, this is going to go up a certain amount, and it's going to bang off that half channel right there. It's going to stop. You mark my words, that's exactly what's going to happen. It's going to go, because these things, there's a lot of geometry that goes on inside of this grid. And if you understand the interplay between these grid lines, the AI lines, the Fibonacci circles, the time lines, and just the grid in general, you can start to see the moves from place to place to, you can start to figure out where these things are going just by following between the lines and going to certain things and just figuring out, what's going on like that. It's very, very easy to do. If you've been doing it as long as I have, it almost becomes too easy. So this is my prediction. I think we're going to go down, probably bounce around, maybe, triangles sometimes break out at the 70% mark. So 70% of this will put you at what? Probably Friday, thereabouts. So watch for something on Friday. Watch for something on Sunday. Those are your 2 critical days. And I'm talking about North America. Right now, as I record this, it is going on noon on Tuesday. So just be aware of that. So look for Friday, look for Sunday as being your 2 critical possibility for break up temporarily, and then break down ultimately. Okay? So we'll go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and take a look at some predictions, and let's gloat a little bit, because we have reason to gloat. When you're right, you're right. Nothing like a good I told you so, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at a few things here. All right, so on live stream, I told you, right on live stream. When we were doing roundtable, we were up here, and we were right in this range. And I told everybody, here is a double confirmation, and I said, and this actually should have gone down to the line here. I just kind of chucked that in there. I said, we were right here. I said, now we have a double confirmation. We are going to drop, and within moments of I think it was one of our subscribers said, within 30 minutes of getting off live stream, we hit this target perfectly. Now, that's no small feat, guys. That is a pretty substantial drop for Ethereum. 5% on Ethereum on an $1,800 coin. That's a pretty substantial drop. If you're shorting, I'm not a proponent of shorting. However, a lot of you guys have developed a real love for it using my system. God bless you. Don't lose your butt. Just be careful. But if you're going to short, if you're the type of person that likes to do that sort of thing, then this system here is like the ultimate weapon, is it not, guys? I mean, if you've got something that can not only give you distance, velocity, but time, and you plug in a shorting technique into it, I mean, you're just raping the exchanges. Good on you. Take all their goddamn money, guys. So anyway, that's kind of it. So now we're bouncing up here. I don't put any faith in the fact that this little pump here, well, what about this? And what about it? It doesn't mean anything, because if we're looking at this, it's basically just come up to the 200 EMA, which we do. I've talked about this baby blue line here is the 200 EMA. We just have to check in with it once in a while. We don't want to be any further than 15% plus minus from this thing without checking in on it. So when we come back to the base, we're going to go ahead and go. So I'm looking at this, and I can see a very clear downward channel. So again, here is your J-hook that I just talked about. Here's your triangle right here. So we went up. Now let's really go back and explain and show you theory explained exactly. Here's your 10-inch move. All right, ba-boom. 5 inches of your 10-inch thing. It went up. Turn. Perfect. Dead nuts, baby. Does it get any better than that? Has anyone ever been able to predict something with that degree of accuracy? This is a real thing. It's a real thing. It's absolutely lethal. You got it. Yeah, I'm proud of it, guys. I mean, it's something that I refined. I'm an engineer. I'm a natural tinkerer. When you build a better mousetrap, you want to turn it loose on the world. Man, we're catching a lot of mice, and so that's awesome. So anyway, this is a J-hook. Now, classically, they do have much more of a J, but again, it functioned exactly. We got down and we dropped and we hit the target down here exactly. Now, so this doesn't mean much of anything. Really doesn't mean diddly squat. Now, I'll show you why. Because basically what we're in is we're in a new downward channel, and you can see we've got an upper channel. We have many touch offs here. We're going to touch off here. We're done. We're hitting that AI line. We're done. We're going to reverse. We're capping out here on all the indicators. The Bollinger Band is starting to compress. And if I get right in here, it looks like our alligator is pretty much running out of gas. So we probably won't go much higher than that right there. And then we'll turn and we'll follow back down in the channel. Now, what's likely to happen is it's likely to probably hit the interplay on this Fibonacci ring, which last time we did, we went across it, didn't get much. But sometimes when we hit these Fibonacci rings, boom, down we go. So watch the rings. You can see another one. We hit the ring, down we went. So when we hit this one, we're probably going to do much of the same thing. Now, I'm not a big fan of Fibonacci rings unless you know how to hook them up, unless you know how to use them correctly, because anyone can make circles on a grid. Doesn't make you a Wall Street genius. But if you know how to hook them up right and you know how to read them, then they can become another tool. Much like, just because you own a hammer doesn't mean you're all of a sudden an architect. You have to know the finer parts of your trade. You have to learn your trade, so to speak. As my dad used to tell me all the time. You can't just know everything just because you open the box. You have to be able to read the instructions and know how everything works. All right, so that's Ethereum. So let's go ahead and take a look at XRP. Now, XRP, this is the one. So let's go ahead and take a break from looking at charts for a second and explain to you guys that are new. We're waiting for the ultimate bottom crash on everything. So I get this daily. I get this question. When's the bottom, RB? RB is what everybody calls me, Red Baron. When's the bottom, RB? Now, I've said it and said it and said it. I'm going to be the fourth member of the Blue Man Group because I'm so tired of repeating myself. I'm blue in the face. Stop asking me when the bottom is. I've told you every single live stream, and I'm going to tell you again one more time. Listen to me. I am not going to call the bottoms on anything until I see Bitcoin hit 24 to 18,000, until I see XRP hit 22 cents to 25 cents. Then and only then will I tell you what the bottom is, because that's how we're going to determine this. We take two known variables and we plug them in, and when those two match, ergo everything else must be at the bottom. Simple mathematical formula, guys. You don't have to make this any more complicated than it is. I know you guys are all excited to, grab the bottom and stuff like that. There's going to be plenty of time. As we covered on Roundtable the other night, this is not going to be a summer that anyone's going to be too proud to be a part of, unless you want to be in the buying mood, unless you're in the buying market. So we're not going to see the gigantic snapback that these guys are predicting. It's my contention that I think we're going to go down. We're going to see a false pump probably here by the end of the month, and it could be a pretty substantial pump. I do not believe that it's going to be the actual pump. Let's go ahead and take a look at something real quick here while I'm thinking about this, and then we'll go ahead and talk about XRP. So, boy, that's looking kind of familiar, ain't it? So this is a market phase cheat sheet. Now, where are we at with this? Well, I think we can make the assumption that right there is that right there is that right there is there. So where does this go? Right chair, boys and girls, right chair. And that puts you down, according to my calculations and my evil plans, puts us down to the $18,000 range, anywhere from $24,000 to $18,000 range. So unless and until we hit that, I ain't calling no bottom. I ain't calling no pump. All right? And so this is following absolutely beautiful. There are no random things in crypto. Listen to me very carefully, boys and girls. There is nothing random about crypto. Trump didn't do anything that made the market move. Biden didn't think or say or fall down the steps or whatever the hell he did this week that had any bearing on the market. This has been pre-planned, pre-scripted, pre-wrote long before you ever stepped into the market. They knew what they wanted to achieve. They've set the flight plan, and now we're in motion. All of this stuff is just points on a curve. And so they know. How could you justify that this matches something that was made years ago if this wasn't pre-planned? I mean, the odds are so astronomically against you. I mean, you stand a better chance of getting in your car and driving across town and hitting every green light than you do of a mathematical matchup on something like this. So make no mistake about it. So what we do, our job here at the unfairadvantage.chat, and the unfairadvantage.tube is our YouTube channel. What our job is to figure out what the master plan is, decode it, and pick it apart and profit from it. Super simple. And we're doing a damn good job of it. So again, back to XRP. I'm calling and waiting for a 22 to 25 cent range. Why is that? As I've said numerous times, but for you guys that are new on live stream, why I've said that is because we've spent so much time there. We have support and resistance up the yin-yang from last year. That's the bottom. Has to be. If you understand anything about technical analysis, if this is going to crush and drop down, it's going to drop down to where it spent so much time, and it's spent an inordinate amount of time in the 25 to 22 cent range for XRP. So that should, if everything else makes sense in this world, and little stuff does, but this does, if we're going to drop down, we're going to drop down probably as low. Now, I'm not saying we're not going to wick down through 18 cents, whatever, but I'm happy. I'm happy at the 22 to 25 cent range. Good enough, because when this thing turns around and goes 4 or 5 digits, you're going to forget about that penny here, penny there. I mean, you're going to be in multimillionaire status if you put a decent amount of money into this. So it's all academic after that. And again, as I said in Roundtable the other night, even if this thing does smash down to 16 cents, let's be honest with each other. You're probably not going to get it because the exchanges are going to be crashing, shit's going to be falling apart, nothing's going to be working. Let's be honest with ourselves and just come to the understanding that how many times you've seen exchanges crash at the best buying opportunity, you're not going to be part. You're not going to be, even though you can look at Monday morning and you can say, hey, great, look, I could have got it in at 16 cents. Damn it, I bought it at 22 cents. Wah-ha. You never would have got it at 16 cents is my contention, because there would have been some sort of crush or block or stop, or, they're not just going to let everybody floodgate. Even if you have a market order set at 16 cents. I think if you've been a part of this space long enough, your orders still don't get filled just because you put them in. So, we're trying to play this conservatively. We're trying to use the facts and the stats to our advantage. So it's good enough. It's good enough for me to get in at 22 to 25 cents, closer to 22, of course, because I think that's going to be the winning play for me. You do what you want to do. I'm not giving financial advice. It's just obviously it just makes sense. It should make sense to you. Now, where we're at here currently, this was a call that went in the other night. I said we're going to be expecting this, and so we're still working our way down. So ultimately, we're going to be going down to this point. Now, we have a little thing we're going to go ahead and talk about. Whenever our AI lines, which are the bronze lines, kind of come in conjunction, I need to reestablish that, come in conjunction with or come close to a green Fibonacci line, we get kind of a magnetic thing that happens. But I kind of call it double confirmation. And generally speaking, and I'll show you one example of this. Generally speaking, anytime you get two of them that come together, what you get is you get this magical attraction that just goes bang, and it hits it. See, it hit it once, hit it twice, hit it 3 times. There, right there. Now, we've got another one down here. For whatever reason, TradingView just likes moving my arrows. So when this thing turns, and it will turn, it'll go down, we're going to hit this line with absolute authority. I have no question in my mind. We're going to come down, which is only less than 5%. We're going to come down to this line, check in, spend a little time, and we're going to go right on down to the next one. See, there's the next double. We have a series of these double lines here. One here, one here, one here. And eventually we're going to check off the list and go all the way down. But we're on our way down. Back when we were at about $2, I was calling 25 cent XRP as being the floor. So I've been right all the way down from $2. And so, these things are just going to check off. Next one, next one, next one, next one. And we have guys that are shorting XRP that are just absolutely murdering it using these lines because they've got a chart that absolutely has some of the best tools that money can buy built into it. And then, of course, obviously, they've got the group support over at the unfairadvantage.chat. But then they're plugging in standard TA to the grid, and they're shorting it, and they're getting it. And I don't even know if is C-Trim in this group right now. He should be because he's usually around in the middle of the day. Is he up? He stays up late at night. Is C-Trem in the group? If he is, give us a check in with his brother. Let us know how much you've done. He started with tell some stories on C-Trem. C-Trem's been with us for a younger guy. He's down in Florida. He's been with us. Came to us with $500, and his first trade he did on his own before he found. So he came to us really with $700. And I'm see if I can tell this story correctly. If any of you guys, I know the Spirit Bear is working with him. I don't know. Maybe you probably know what his current holdings are. But last time I looked, inside of less than 45 days of being with us, he's turned $700 into well over $35,000. Am I correct in that? Does everybody remember that story? I seem to remember in the live stream, but I know it's well over $30,000. By now, probably closer to $45,000. I spoke with him last night. He's talking about buying an RV and kind of going mobile and just kind of saying, screw material possessions. I don't want to be. I don't want, after the round table last night, he's like, I don't think I really want to own anything right now. I think I'd rather just be mobile. Probably a good idea. So he was talking about buying a $20,000, $25,000 RV and just using his crypto winnings to do it. Good on him, man. But if anyone remembers or knows if you know where he is on his crypto winnings so far, he won't mind us talking about him. But it's impressive enough to say that the guy came in, basically used our tools and just some standard TA, and didn't reinvent the wheel, and basically turned $700 into over $30,000. I mean, who wouldn't love to be able to do that? I mean, obviously everybody gets different. I'm not suggesting everybody can come in here and do that, but I mean, he by no means is anywhere close to the greatest winner that we've got. Crypto Rich would be that. He turned $150,000 into over getting close to $11 million inside of 90 days. So, we have a few people that absolutely will drop your jaw as far as the success rates that are being had. And it's going to get better. When we hit the ultimate bottom, every single one of you that's a subscriber is going to have an opportunity to see the calls that I'm giving that before we went into a downturn market, it was very normal to be seeing calls of 20 to 25 to 35% daily returns. We're going to be seeing those again, and much, much more. When we ultimately hit the bottom, it's just going to look like a candy factory, guys. I mean, every time you turn around, you go, oh, I made another 25. Oh, I made another 35. That's not conjecture; it's the truth. Because once we hit the bottom, we have nowhere else to go but up. So we've made the case on that several times. Let's go ahead and get back and let's take a look at a few of the calls going down. So we're watching for, just to kind of go back and sum that up again, we're watching for XRP to go to 22 to 25 cents, Bitcoin to go to 24 to 18,000. Then we're going to start going. It's time to get the wallet out. It's time to start buying some stuff. That's going to be my contention. All right. So XLM is the other part of what we call the X Twins. This is kind of the lesser junior partner to XRP. And again, I called the bottom of this channel, and this is the next call down. So. But you can see every single time. A ping is basically, this is what we call a perfect hit. So these calls come in, and we get double confirmation. There's one. But we get them all the way back, over and over. Every single one of these arrows has been a perfect call. I mean, look at all the perfect calls just on this one crypto alone, over and over and over again. I mean, look at this. There's a call, hit it, exactly. Not just a little bit. Let me kind of zoom right in. I'm not joking. When I say accurate to the pixel, I mean accurate. Within fractions of a percent. Fractions of a percent. And this is a little note that I was making to everybody, kind of talk about when we get into manipulations and stuff like this right here. That's a bot. But I mean, these are some pretty outrageous calls to be making. I mean, that's a pretty large percent gain to be predicting. But if you wait it out, boom, she hits every single time. Every single time. So anyway, getting back to this, so we're waiting on XLM. We're waiting for our next target marker down. It's going to be 18.188. Now, I don't have, and I won't make an official call for where I say, but we are looking at roughly about 40 cents to the dollar, give or take. We're not exactly at 50%. XLM has been moving roughly 45% to the value of XRP. So wherever XRP is, you can usually take about 45% of that, and that's XLM. So I've kind of conjecturing a little bit. Where do I see if XRP goes to? It is a question. Where does XLM go if XRP goes to 25 cents? Well, if it goes to 22 cents, it's reasonable, very reasonable to expect that XLM should go sub 11 cents down to the 8 or 9 cent range. Crazy as that is, yes, it can theoretically go. Now, there was one time, if you guys are a fan of the X Twins, you know that there was a time when XLM was actually selling for more than XRP. Very rare time, doesn't happen. However, right now we're back in kind of the stasis where basically it tracks just at a certain percentage, measured move. I mean, they kind of wander around independent of each other, but they always tend to maintain a social distance of about 45 cents to the dollar. So currently using that mathematical assumption, we can play on the idea, and this is about as far as I'll go with this. If you guys don't like to play active day trading and you like to just say, okay, I just want to just set a price for something. I just want to get in on something. I don't have the time to be watching this stuff. You have that option with our grids. You have that option with our memberships over at Fibicharts. Is you can basically just say, okay, well, this is what RB says that he thinks. And the way that I look at this, again, not financial advice, the way that I look at this is, if you were to take a target that we had set to the downside, and we don't make it that low, you've lost nothing but time. You've still got the money in your pocket, in your account. You didn't lose anything. It's not like you bought at the top and everything dropped out the bottom on you. This is a very, very nice position to be at. So either you're going to get it or you're not going to get it. And I'm here to tell you right now, if I've been right as many times as I've been, I'm going to continue that winning streak. Believe me, I'm going to continue that winning streak, and you can set your watch by it because it's gonna happen. So where I see XLM probably going is sub 10 cents. Now, if you want to know the actual number, then join us over at Fibicharts and subscribe to the charts, get into at least the gold package, and get involved into the charts. And I'd be happy to kind of let that information slide and let you know. All right, so that's kind of a little pitch for those guys. Worth the money for the subscriptions, isn't it, guys? It's kind of nothing better than having a digital crystal ball on your desktop. All right, here's a good one to talk about. Theta, boy, I tell you what, this one really does my heart proud. I tell you what, this is one with the amount of crap that I took for this. I mean, nobody's laughing anymore now, are they? So let's go back and tell the story again. So Theta was just on an absolute rip. You remember when all the psychics and woo-woo people were, it's going to go to $8. Well, it didn't. It went to 16 because once it went to 8, I was starting to predict all the way up to 16. I nailed all those calls. I won't go all the way back. I nailed all those calls, but these things, well, what about this? What about this? What about it? Hit exactly. Not a little bit. Dipped, wicked, hit exactly. And so as we started to drop, our AI system said, hey, we got a hellacious drop incoming. And I did this, and the people that were on live stream that are not subscribers, not members, well, you missed that one. Okay, we'll see. And what I know about this system is this, because I am the inventor of this system. Most of the time, this will play out anywhere from 3 to 5 days. Usually happens. Make a call, there you go, and you see it. Now, this amount of time here from this call, double confirmation over here, that was 10 days. That's a bit of a stretch. Now, this one here, it can be done. The longer the drop, the more I'm comfortable saying we're going to have to wait, because this is not going to happen most times. And like predicted on Monday, see it on Tuesday. I know the deeper, nastier the drop, the longer you have to wait. But just understand that it's the probabilities are so stacked on our side. So when I did this call on before actually I did this call June 23rd. Yeah, June 23rd. Let's call it June 23rd. So it took 26 days, 5 hours, 30 minutes, and slammed that thing exactly to the mark. Now, that sounds impressive enough as it is, but understand that is a drop of 80.36%. Who in their right mind makes an 80% drop call? I did, and I said, it's going to happen, guys. Yo, you don't know what you're talking about. We'll see. Justified. Nothing like it. That there is probably one of the most finest I told you so's that I've got on these charts right now. And there's more coming. Much more coming. Now, how foolish, how stupid would you feel if you thought, well, this is just, I'm going to buy the dip, and I'm telling you, don't do it. Don't do it. And you buy the dip and you ride, oh, it's going to get better. It's going to turn around. It's going to turn around. And we get to right here and it just drops. And as it starts to go down, I'm making predictions on the way down. Telling you, it's going to J-hook and a J-hook. So there's another one of those J-hooks that I talked about. See, right there. Exactly. Plays out 50%. 50%. There's the motion right there. Goes up 50%. Hooks goes down. I'm hoping you guys who are new to the live stream are seeing this, are looking this with the proper amount of amazement, because this is quite an amazing thing to witness. So anyway, we hit this exactly. Now we went a little bit lower because I don't watch this thing 24/7 because I do sleep once in a while. But ultimately, I have another surprise in my bag. Way down here. Way down here. So what do you think the odds are, now that I've shown you an 80% drop that came out of nowhere that nobody but me was calling? What do you think the odds are we're going to hit that $2? Bank on it. Bank on it. It's going to happen, guys. Because if we're looking at this just from where we're at right now to here, that's on your close to half of the call I made the last time. This is only 40%, 47%, 47.22%. Easily doable compared to the 80% that I just showed you that actually did play out. So we've got a hellacious amount of droppage to come here. And so Turbo, are you new? I don't remember. I remember seeing you on a couple of live streams before. Have you ever seen anything like this before? I'm going to show you a lot more than just this. I'm going to go through probably about 10 of them, 10, 12 of them before I'm done tonight or today. So anyway, we're going to be seeing about $2. Now, $2 is just my conservative call. I believe we'll probably even go to $1.75. Don't bank on it just yet. I'm just telling you. I'm just gloating right now. But if we get to $2, I mean, everybody should be going, holy shit, I've never seen anything like this. I never thought I was going to see Theta at $2. Well, if we do see Theta at $2, you know, this is not financial advice, but it's wake up and realize what you're looking at here advice. If we see $2 Theta, you better give heavy consideration to possibly buying some, because the other side of this formula is our bots have this thing predicted. Our long range bot called Anubis has this thing forecasted in 3 to 4 years at anywhere from $3,000 to $3,500. Not $3,500, $3,500 on a coin that may very well fall to $2 soon. Now, T-Fuel. T-Fuel is, again, I am not here. Again, there's that crazy call. Now, we haven't hit this one yet, but I just showed you one that did. So what do you think is going to happen? Look. What do you think is going to happen? We're already 50% there. That call is going to happen, kids. Make no mistake about it. And that's going to put you right at about 12 cents and some change. But that's not going to be the end of the story. It's going to go lower than that. Now, back when Doge was kind of, I won't get into the whole Doge controversy that I used to love to crap talk Doge, but I'm a Doge aficionado, not a lover, but I'm an appreciator. I'm not a connoisseur appreciator. I can tolerate Doge because there's money to be made there. Not so much with the lesser dog coins, but when everybody was on a Doge freaking out, buying Doge and stuff like that because Elon kept pimping that thing, I was telling everybody, don't be messing with that. Get over and look at T-Fuel. There's use case. It's solid. Do it. And T-Fuel was at, like, what was it, 2 cents when I was talking? 2 cents, 3 cents, something like that. I kept telling everybody, buy T-Fuel. Screw that Doge crap because you don't know. And meanwhile, Doge has been going up and down and up and down. Maybe you made money most of the time. You probably didn't because you didn't understand what you were doing. And the whole time I was telling everybody, buy T-Fuel. Well, shortly after me finally having my last say about that, it went from 2 cents in a short period of time on up to, what was it, about 50 cents, something like that. Just absolutely blasted past the returns that Doge has ever put out, even in 2 moves. And so I was right again. Now, I have since told everybody, I don't view T-Fuel the way that I view Theta. I view T-Fuel as being a good flipper coin, a good short-term money coin. Do I believe you need to hodl and hold it? Probably a little bit, but don't go crazy. I'm talking like maybe 3% of your portfolio would be generous. 2% would probably 2% or less would probably, because there's really no growth possibility out of it. It's predicated. Its value is predicated on the larger coin. So just get the larger coin. If you just because you own the doorknobs of a Cadillac doesn't mean you own a Cadillac. You know what I'm saying? If you want a Ferrari, go buy the Ferrari. Don't buy the doorknobs. Don't buy the hubcaps, or don't buy the something like bad analogy, but you know what I'm saying. If you want to own the coin, own the coin, because this thing here is kind of the gas to the whole thing. So that would probably be a better analogy. If you want to own the Ferrari, don't buy the gas that goes in it, and so tell everybody you own a Ferrari. So this is basically use case type thing. So look at it that way and understand that it moves and it's volatile. So capitalize on that and use that to your advantage. Now, I've been telling everybody, don't get involved with this thing. Back when we were up at 50 cents, I said, don't get involved with it because I believe that it has a short-term ceiling of on or around about $1. And I've been very justified in that because we haven't got anywhere close to that. In fact, we got to 50 cents and dropped. So you guys that got all ambitious about buying T-Field because I told you it was $1, I never told you to buy it. I told you to consider if you're holding it, that eventually it'll go to $1. But I'm not a fanboy for holding on to this stuff because I know the volatility of it. So basically, here's where we're at now. I'm telling everybody, should we be buying in this? And the narrative that I've been kind of pushing recently is I wouldn't even entertain the idea of owning this thing unless it was under 25 cents, which we are now. Still doesn't mean I'm telling anyone to buy it. The reason I'm saying that is because eventually I do believe we are going to go to $1. If I was right about 50 cents, I'll be right about $1. We will, but not yet. And it's not the best investment you could make when you look at that compared to the 50, 60 other things that I'm charting and tracking. This is like, can we make, if we were to compare it to something like Bancor, which is my number one favorite flipper coin. It's all over the road. You can make just crap tons of money on that thing without even trying. And so I don't want to entertain the idea of owning T-Fuel again until we get down into the 8 cents, 10 cents range. Let's do some mathematics on that. If we bought T-Fuel right now, let's just go ahead and round it up, say with exchange fees, we bought it at 25 cents right now, and it goes to $1. What did we make, class? We made 400% return on our money. Impressive, not by crypto standards, it's not. Yawn, it's not that good. You made 4x, nice. I can do that in a single day with any given coin on a good day downhill with the wind at my back. Can be done. That's nothing impressive. Now, if you wait and this thing drops down to 10 cents and now it goes to $1, what have we just done? 10x, baby. Now you got my respect. 10x. If it goes to 8 cents, even more than 10x. Now you're 11.5%. You're going, put $1 in, get $11 back. That's the kind of money we're seeking to make here at the Unfair Advantage. We're not trying to make this pittance because you must understand, and I don't talk about this very often, but let's go ahead and talk about it. You must understand that we are in a very special time in crypto history. This will not go on for the rest of your life. It will not go on for 5 more years, 3 more years, maybe even 2 more years. We are in a very special window where the people who make the wise choices don't get crazy, don't FOMO in and don't FOMO out to, don't try to, I see 3 digits, I'm going to sell and put the money in my pocket because I just want to roll around in the cash. You want to maximize your profit on every single move that you make, because if you get in too high or out too soon, you just cut yourself off the knees, sometimes twice in the same transaction. So back to my analogy, if you're buying in at 10 cents and you're getting 10x, then you just became a member of the 10x club. If you bought in at 25 cents and this thing dipped, well, you're out of the game until this thing turns and goes to $1. When's that going to happen? Soon, but not soon enough. You're out of the game. All those when you could have made 10x and taken that 10x and threw it into the next coin that does another 10x, you're going to lose investment opportunity. So you've just capped yourself from a compounded growth scenario by buying in too soon. We are not at the bottom. Let's go back and discuss the bottom. I've said this many times. I said it at the beginning of this broadcast. When is the bottom? The bottom for everything. Pick your favorite coin. I don't give a shit what it is. The bottom will be clearly clearly shown when Bitcoin gets to 18,000 to the 24 to $18,000 range, that's bottom. When XRP is also doing the same thing and it falls into the 22 to 25 cent range, and you look at both of those coins, you got both of them hitting my predictions. You can look at everywhere else in the crypto landscape and say whatever we're at right now, and I can show you predictions, and I've done this on multiple live streams, and I do it in VIP in the platinum chats, in the diamond chats. When we hit that, I already know with a statistical probability where we're going to be with most of these coins within hand grenade distance, good enough that you can put in an order right now on that thing and just wait for it to pop, baby. And when it does, don't sell it. Don't sell it until you're in the 10x, 20x, 30x, 50x, whatever it is that we have it predicted at, or whatever it is you're comfortable at. Because if you jump out of a profitable move too soon, you just sawed yourself off the knees, and everybody else is going to be getting rich. You're going to be comfortable, but everybody else is going to be rich. So I want to be able to make sure that you guys make wise moves. So back to the point here on T-Fuel, we're not ready to buy yet. We're watching for sub 10 cents on T-Fuel, all right? A lot of this stuff I give away for free, but a lot of, we go into much more detail. So guys, if you like what you hear here, if you never heard anything quite like this before, anyone quite speak to you quite like this, I'm very very direct. I don't mince words, but we don't have time to feel fluffy. I mean, you need the hard talk. This is why we call this crypto therapy, is because you don't like the medicine, but it's good for you. So if you guys would like to subscribe to the charts, simply just go to Fibicharts.com. Go subscribe, and if you subscribe to gold, you get into the standard chat. If you subscribe to platinum, gives you this gigantic list of coins that we track, and that gives you the VIP, where I do these kinds of chats privately with much more detail. So platinum is ultimately where everybody ends up at. So, all right, so let's go ahead and take a look at a few more things here. VeChain. Oh, we're loving VeChain, aren't we, guys? VeChain's a honey. Oh, there you are. There's another target. Sometimes I don't always do the circle. Sometimes I just kind of go, yeah, we're going to hit right here. Right in the hole. Drop right in the hole. Now this circle was done clear up here. So we made a drop from here to here of roughly about 13%. Just out of nowhere, but these are so dead on accurate. Look at, we hit it, bounced below it, came right back up. That line is playing absolutely perfectly. Now, where are we going from there? Take a guess. Take a guess. Now, I want to, most of you guys already know, if you're fans of the live stream, what I'm about to tell everybody else. It's not a long-term subscriber. And if you're not a subscriber, you definitely want to be a subscriber, because if you like this, you haven't seen anything yet. I'm about to rock the crypto world here with some of the predictions and some of the stuff that I'm going to be talking about here for the next month. So you definitely want to be here for that. So, VeChain, Anubis, our long-term bot that is getting more and more accurate by the day, has this predicted 3 to 4 years from now at $7. $7. This is a coin that I am going to predict is going to, on its next move, hit down here at 5 cents, and we're not done yet. We have more to go below this. This is just the next call. 5 cent VeChain. Now, to bring you guys up to speed, VeChain, what about it? Well, I'll tell you what about it. It's a huge inventory control coin. This thing has medical implications for tracking medical supply stuff. DHL, the 3rd largest shipper in the world, international shipper, just adopted this as inventory control. What a vote of confidence. You think this thing isn't going to be something? It already is something. The world's just got to catch up. Do you think that I'm wrong in a $7 coin? When DHL has adopted this, China is embedding this thing in all their, China's the powerhouse of production in the world. We all know that. China is on board, both feet in on this. Real powerhouse players are adopting this. Would not surprise me if Amazon probably comes on board with this. If they don't invent their own thing, that's just my speculation. But even if they don't, doesn't matter. I would not be surprised to see FedEx and UPS step up and join this, because DHL, that's a bold move for them to be an early adopter. So good on them. It might make the difference between them being number 3 and number 2, or possibly number 1. You never know. But more to the point here, $7, very reasonable call. When's that going to happen? Inside of 36 to 48 months. So if you can wait a scant 48 months to turn a nickel into $7 and do that on multiples of however much money you put in, I think your life's going to be a little bit different for having listened to this guy on YouTube. What do you think? All right. So speaking of free calls, OMG is my free call that I do. So all you guys got to do, if you just want to just join us and just see, man, this guy's definitely different, and I want a little bit more. I'm kind of digging this. So if you dig it, join us. The unfairadvantage.chat. That's our free Discord. Basically, what it is, you just go in there, follow the instructions, and there's a little chicken bone. I'm sorry I don't have it here that I can show you, but that's our Discord. So when you go in there, you're going to be presented with Red Baron has invited you to join Discord. You have to click our little chicken bone icon twice. Click, click. That's how we verify that you're him. If you click it once, it won't let you in. But if you have any questions, just send it to the mod there. And then just go over to the left and go ahead and join our free Discord. And that's our free general admission. Everybody can come in, kind of talk, and we have a few rooms. But as you subscribe to Gold, as you subscribe to Platinum, we have additional rooms, and we also have a crypto training class that I teach. It teaches you how to use this grid and stuff like that. So if you guys really don't know anything about crypto, and you're starting to feel that stress, as I'm sure a lot of you are, that God, I need to learn this. I just don't know who to trust. I don't know what to do. Congratulations. You just found probably the best authority you'll find. I'm willing to teach you guys how to make a ton of money at crypto. If you don't understand what you're doing, this is a group that you will be able to come in, pick up the basics. We have a crypto class. It'll teach you how to use this grid and how to maximize this. I have a lot of people that come from all over the world, countries you may never even heard of. One of my favorite ones to talk about is we have a gentleman that's come into our group who is a potato farmer from Johannesburg, South Africa. And he had it's crazy. I used to live in several third world countries, but he basically took the little amount, I'm talking like $6-7, and invested it based upon what he had learned within our group. And he's made enough money to rescue his family to be able to survive. I mean, my God, how amazing is that? It's all well and good to hear how some of our group members are making $100,000, $200,000, buying houses, paying off cars, buying new cars, whatever. Love those stories, but nothing impresses me or gets my attention more than the people who have nothing, that come out of nothing and use the information that I give away for free, and take it and use it to high leverage advantage, and they pull themselves out of the pit of hell. So that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to help every single one of you guys that want the help, that want the authority, that want to be able to believe in someone that's going to give you real advice or what they believe to be good calls. I don't give advice, but to be able to give you good guidance, let's just say that. Because there's so much hopium. There's, one guy copies another guy. It's just a shit show out there, guys. I don't think I have to tell you that. I think we all know that already. And so, I'm the lone voice screaming in the crypto woods. Listen to me. I've got a system, and the system works. It's proven. You can see it. It's based on math. It's based on fact. It's based on science. It's based on technicals. There is no hopium. There is no wishium. There is no nothing based on anything other than what we see. We play the odds. We play the statistics, and we win. We win, and that's what it's all about. All right, so this was a free call that I give away. Now, again, here's another crazy drop. Crazy. Look at this. What right do I have to be saying, hey, listen, this is going to drop 20%. Just thought you might want to know. Why would it do that? Well, it did. Boom. Hit it. Hit that call, leveled off. Hit that call, leveled off. And actually came around, came back up again. So double confirmation, double call. So now where are we at with this? It's still going to go lower. So OMG, if you come in and you don't have any money yet and you just want to try this out, whatever, this is a free call that I maintain. And I always constantly update the charts, and I always show everybody in here that just wants to jump in. Now, to kind of go back and explain why this is such an important call. Earlier, when I brought this and started to give it away as a free call, I'm telling you, according to our system, that I expect to see with high degree of probability, because this is a very solid coin that you can buy on Coinbase. It's a good project. And so I said, tell you what, I'm gonna offer this as my free little tithe to the group, is everybody can understand where I stand on OMG with this. So I put in the call. I said, now I expect to see this by the end of the year. I expect to see probably anywhere from $20 to $25. Now, people jumped in. A lot of people made some money, and I said, look, we got a little bit of a turnaround here. Some of you guys said, nope, I'm just going to go ahead and hold to the end of the year. That's your play. You do that. It's cool. We'll come around. So if you're upside down on this, don't sweat it. It'll be fine. Don't sell a loss, because we don't sell at losses. Now, if you guys did take your profit off the table and you're waiting to rebuy, the best is yet to come. But here's one I press upon you. We already got lower targets. I don't know if it's right here where I can show it to you. Yeah, there it is right there. There again, there's another one of those outrageous drops just out of the middle of nowhere, just making this stupid call 47% or 45% out of nowhere. But look at this. We're already at the halfway point. Is there any doubt we're going to hit this? So I'm telling everybody right now that's watching this, and I have a few people that are still playing this and waiting for this. They've already set their orders down to about $2.15, $2.25 conservatively. They've just got it sitting there on the exchange waiting to scoop up OMG, because when they scoop up OMG at $2.25 and this thing goes to $25 potentially by the end of the year, what club did you just join? Congratulations. You've been vetted. You're a made man or made woman. You just made the 10X club. Can you dig it? And so that's exactly what we do at the group. So this is one that I will continue to maintain. Now, I'm not suggesting that this is the bottom. However, if I were in a situation where I just needed something to hang my hat on, I just needed a W in the success column, and I'm tired of all the L's. I need a W. I need a win. This is one I would probably jump in on. If it goes to $1.75, whatever. We don't chase to the very bottom because, again, as I said at the top of this show, it's a high degree of likelihood the exchanges might be locked up and you can't even, if you're hovering over the button waiting to buy it live, it's not a good strategy. If you're, you might be sleeping and everything goes to hell because Asia is awake and you wake up in the morning going, crap, I missed the bottom. So that's why you do market. You do the research, you do your own research, you take a look at the information I put in, you can kind of coalesce it together and see what feels good and feels right to you, and then you put those calls in. But not advice, but if it were me and I were doing this, I would absolutely pick my price right now. Just put it in and just forget it, because probably. The way we're looking right now, I would say probably within the next 30 days we're going to be knocking on that door. Probably less than that. I would say probably 2 weeks. We're probably going to be knocking on that door. $2, $2.25, right in that range. So Cardano I have a lot of people that are Cardano fans. I own some Cardano. I just got sick of it. I do believe it's a good project, but again, I don't want to get into the what coin's better than another coin, because that's a subject that we cover in great detail in the Platinum. That's kind of what that's for. Is that level of subscription is kind of where we're at with that. I volunteer my time to field those calls in Platinum for Fibicharts. And but however, Cardano, as I've said, I'm expecting my next mark off. As I said, clear when we were up here, I made a purple target down here. I said, yeah, I think we're probably going to go down here. And again, those are some pretty outrageous claims to be making. Oh yeah, I'm thinking it's going to drop probably 28-30% down here, when there's no reason to believe that, because you probably could have looked at that and said, no, we're going to go up. You're foolish. You don't know what you're talking about. Look at that upward trend. You don't know what you're talking about. Well, here I said I put in the purple line, and we hit that target, and we're followed down the next line, So we're going to be knocking on the door of sub $1, which is purple. That's 95 cents, by the way, in case you guys are on phone, can't see it. Now, this is not the end of the story, because, again, we always have to check in. Where is Bitcoin? Well, this only has to move from here to here, only has to move 10% to get there. It'll do it, make no mistake about it. But what's the move percentage from Bitcoin, where we are currently, to that 18,000? Substantially more than 10%. So whatever that percentage drop is from where we're at now to 18%, you can take that percentage and apply it over to this grid and say, okay, well, we're probably going to move that much, if not more. So I bring in another number of 70 to 75%, 70 to 75 cents. Now, I'm just not making a call yet, for a couple of reasons, because ISIS, that's these lines here, this is our short-term predictive AI bot, has not gone, and it always tracks just a little bit ahead, just so we can keep the most accurate. I mean, if you get too wild and woolly and you go way out here, it'll just end up retracing. And so I have this thing programmed to not throw down too many lines outside of a span. I mean, you've got a pretty good swath there that you can work within, but I don't like to kind of go too far down, plus too far up above or too far down below, because as we get closer, the stats start to change. So we don't want to get too far or too close to the end. But not going to surprise me that we're going to see Cardano probably 50 to 60 cents. Just flippantly commenting. Not going to surprise me. Now, do you want to own Cardano? That's a call for you to make. I have owned Cardano. Just with everything else that I see going on, it's not the fastest pony in the stable. I'll just always stick to that analogy. It's a good pony, it's a strong pony, but it's not the fastest one in the stable. And again, back to my earlier rant, we want to turn this money as fast as possible. So if you're a diversification fan, Cardano is great. If you're into stability, Cardano is great. The conversation changes radically after you've made millions of dollars. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to keep it in one coin? Oh, I would. I don't give advice, but that's stupid. I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that. That's when you want to get into diversification. That's when you want to put them in the blue chips, like Cardano, like Polkadot, like whatever. But right now, you've got to kind of go lean and mean. Keep it in 3 to 4 coins. Bet on those ponies, and then sit back and wait for it to happen. And by the way, Bitcoin is not a coin you need to be in if you're looking to grow your money, because we are never, ever, ever going to go 10x on Bitcoin like we are on some of these lesser coins. So you guys that have BTC-itis, that you're a maxi or whatever, you're several steps behind the game. You're going to be the poorest people in the room when this all plays out. People who are just coming into I'm talking the people who've been in it since the very beginning. Well, you're a different breed. But the people that are buying Bitcoin right now for anything other than its swing capabilities or its short-term gain capabilities, and again, you can do better in the lesser coins. Anyone who's buying Bitcoin because that's what they say I should be doing, don't do it. Don't do it. That is advice. Don't do it. That's not where you make your money in crypto anymore. That's played out. You need to be in the mid cap to low cap coins because they have the highest degree of growth. I mean, there's more flexibility, there's more growth, there's more potential. Something like Ocean, I go back and listen to some past live streams. I've talked about how Ocean, if you get in at the bottom, and we will be tracking and tracing the bottom when it happens. If you get in there, you're going to be looking at anywhere from 700 to 1100x, or 7 to 11 times return. In other words, you put in $1, you get $7 or $11 back on every dollar you put in on Ocean. Something like you will never do that with Bitcoin. Never, 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 unless you're leveraging, and that's a whole other discipline, and I don't recommend it. So ADA, not going to be the fastest pony in the stable. So I'll cover it. A lot of you guys are holding it from back in the day, so that's why I still continue to cover it. Also, like Zill and Polkadot, and a lot of these follow the same thing. Now again, I put this red box here. I said this is going to be a box of activity. We're going to spend some time, and lo and behold, we did. I said we're watching for the breakdown below. There's a breakdown right there. And so we're waiting. Now we've got, obviously these lines here will play out. I'm not making calls on these. I'm going to be holding back on doing crypto by crypto calls because I know it's infuriating some of you guys. Well, how come he's not talking about this? Because there's nothing to say. There's nothing to say. You're going to ask me, well, what do you see Zill doing? I see Zill doing what it's doing when Bitcoin does what it does. And I know it's infuriating, but I have to repeat myself probably 10 times a day to people that keep asking me this question. But all you need to do, I'm trying to make this simple for everybody, all you need to do is watch 3 coins. Bitcoin, 6 hour, XRP, and Doge. And I'll say this again. Bitcoin, because basically it's a leader. XRP, because it's an outlier, but it's a major, major coin. Doge, because it's just weird, and it kind of gives you a little bit of alternate opinion. But when all 3 of those are down, all 3 of those are following pattern, and all 3 of those hit the floor. Say, for example, let me give you a theory. If Bitcoin goes into the toilet and all of a sudden Doge just lights and starts going to the moon, I'm going to scratch my head and go, what the hell's going on here? But it won't happen. It won't happen. But if I see XRP just light the tires and just all of a sudden just go out of nowhere, I'm going to go, what the hell's going on here? But it won't happen. So when I see both of those 2 major market indicators plus Doge go into the toilet universally at the same time, I'm going to go ding, 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 all aboard who's going aboard, because this is going to be the time when everybody needs to be, jumping onto these coins, because the whole market, not a few, not a little, the whole market is going to be going down at one universal time. And so at that point, I will be able to say, yep, that's when you buy Zill, if Zill's your thing. It's not my thing, but if it were your thing. Let me pick a coin here at random. well, we talked about, okay, Reef. Let's talk about Reef. Now, Reef is another one of these amazing life-changing coins. This is one that I brought. Nobody knew what Reef was. I brought Reef to the table, started talking about it, and almost within an hour to 2 hours of me talking about this, it went up 90%. And it's not based on the amount of people buying because I say so. It just did. I don't have didn't at the time, didn't have the following to be able to push a coin up the way that this thing went up. But I called it and I said, I think I sensed something's about to happen, and it did. Within hours, it went up 90%. And once it hit 90%, I said, okay, I think same thing happened with Ocean. I told Ocean, I believe went up 120% within about 6 hours of me saying something. Same thing happened with Pancake. Pancake went up 300% after me calling it. So all of these have happened within hours of me making a, hey guys, you need to look at this call. And so I do these for upside and I do these for the downside. So effectively what I'm telling you is Reef is this. We don't know where the bottom is. I told everybody now, when I first bought in on this thing, I bought in way up here on the blue line. That's a happy purchase. And it took forever for us to come back down and go below this. I mean, I won't talk about the minutia of what went on, but we have come substantially lower than my initial buy-in on this, and I've sold out since then. I'm no longer holding. I'm waiting for an opportunity to get back in. But now we're down into it's beautiful down here. The air smells better down here. The birds are chirping. It's a nice neighborhood to be in. Trust me, they got good schools and good housing. It's a nice neighborhood. But really, we're now at a penny. If you want to pull the trigger right now, I am not going to fault you and tell you, oh, wait, I am not going to fault you if you just can't contain yourself, because this thing is going to be fucking nuts. I've got this thing predicted. Anubis has this thing predicted at $3.36 in the next 36 to 48 months. This has got massive, massive financial support behind it. It's a damn impressive coin with damn impressive pedigree. If you bought this right now, no shame. However, I see no reason to do that because, again, as I'm making the case here on this live stream and many in the past, we have much more to go. Now, I've called this as the watch zone. You can very clearly see this is where, what does a watch zone mean? Does that mean buy? No, it means watch. It means this is a signpost on the road to hell where I am really expecting the next hardcore drop. Well, let me just go ahead and plug some TA in here and show you what's about to happen. What's about to happen is we're about to go from there to there, right to that AI line, perfectly to that AI line, which, by the way, is 1 penny. Exactly 1 penny. So the next move is it's going to fall to exactly 1 penny. Dead nuts right in the middle of the watch zone. Now, what does the watch zone mean? Nothing. It's just I'm going to start paying more hardcore attention to, are we getting closer? Is it almost time to buy? It means it's time to maybe pull my wallet out of my pocket. Doesn't mean it's time to start rifling through my Benjamins trying to count how many of these I can buy yet. Now, again, we apply that Bitcoin XRP theory to this. When we see the crash or the ultimate bottom for both of those, where's that going to put Reef? I don't know. I can speculate. Let's go ahead and do that for fun. If we come down, let's just apply 40%. We'll make it 50 for Reef because Reef's a lesser cap coin. If we shave 50%, well, that's, of course, obviously the bottom of this box. There's a reason this little sketch box is here. From here to here, let's assume if Bitcoin's going to drop another 40%, then all the lesser coins will drop exponentially larger. 55, 60%, maybe, I don't know. But if we're just playing fun money here, we're going to drop Reef 50% if Bitcoin drops 40%. That's going to put you, let's just go ahead and do it this way so it's easier to read. That's going to put you right there. Oh my God. Can you imagine being able to buy a coin for that price, 0.005, and have that thing turn around inside of 36 to 48 months and go to $3.36? Is that the end of the ride? No. I'm just telling you, that's the prediction that Anubis has given us right now. And I got to wait 4 years. It's not going to go from this price to $3.36 in one fell swoop. It's going to do it step by step by step. You're going to be able to look at this thing every day, theoretically. Every day, or let's say every week, you wake up and you look at this. Oh my God, I'm richer and richer. I'm richer and richer still and richer still and again and again. And you'll be able to watch this. This is the beauty of buying at the absolute bottom. You're not going to have this opportunity probably many more times in your life. Not to overhype this, but yeah, we're going to talk about Matic too, Bear. When this thing hits the bottom, you only get one bottom. So buy it right, buy it deep. That's advice on anything. If you have an opportunity to buy something at the bottom, I mean, you can call that advice because that's what they're going to tell you. Anyone's going to tell you that. When you have a bargain, you buy it. You don't wait. You don't think about it. You don't twiddle your thumbs. You don't call your broker. You don't consult your psychic. You see it for what it is. You take action and you capitalize on it. That's how you become a winner. All right. So last point on this is Reef is basically we're looking at this. We're looking to get into the watch zone and then out of the watch zone. But once we get in, I'll put an official box here once we get into that. But we're going to be stepping down these radiant lines, and so we'll probably follow along here. I'll just give you some theory. We'll probably go along here. We'll probably hit that Fibonacci, and we'll capitulate into that. So we'll probably go like this, and then in 2 fell swoops. All right. But we haven't got that long to go before we're probably going to be looking at that. And so that right there, I'm not suggesting 2 days is going to do it. If we go out 5 days, let's go out 5 days. 5 days puts us at Sunday, which I think is probably going to be the big boy for Bitcoin. That's when Bitcoin's going to bust out of that current formation. So in the next 5 days, we could find ourselves in or below the watch zone in this amount of time. So within this probable box right here, I think we will be comfortably working our way into this box and possibly even lower. You just don't know. You just don't know. But I like where we're heading. Now let's talk about 1 inch. 1 inch is 1 inch is one of my favorites. You get me talking about 1 inch, I won't shut up. But again, here's a couple calls. There's the calls. So again, when I was up here, I said, here's our next targets. And this is the funny part. I get almost a perverse joy of watching these guys shoot their mouth off and then getting wrecked. I don't want to see anybody get wrecked, but yeah, if you're going to be an ass, man, you got it coming to you. And what's funny is I make these calls and then it goes, hey, you don't know what you're talking about. Okay. And then it hit that AI line and it turned and it hit my first call and it hit my second call and it spent time on call. And the guy that basically jumped in on this because he thought this was an inverted Bart. What's an inverted Bart? Let me show you. Looks like Bart standing on his head. Bart Simpson standing on his head. All right, that's an inverted Bart, okay? Or a capless Pac-Man ghost if you care. So that's what that is. And that's what everybody thought it was. But they're using the TA against you. Now, all you had to do is just be, third grade level education, and you could have obviously seen that's a downward channel. There was no reason to believe that was going to go anywhere else. We are in a downward market, downward channel. There ain't no inverted Bart happening. Just not going to happen. Yeah, 5 days does seem like an eternity. I'll tell you what. Especially try sitting in front of a computer screen for about 12 to 14 hours a day, like I do. I'll tell you what, man. I've got dents in my bum from this metal. I have worn all the padding out of my very expensive office chair. I got a $1,200 office chair that I've had for years and years. I'm down to the very bare metal. I can feel the ridge like stabbing me in the ass right now because I've smashed all the padding down. So I've worn a groove in my chair because I've been sitting here staring this chart into submission. So but happier days are coming, guys. Happier days are coming. So anyway, Bitcoin. So as far as 1 inch, so we're hitting that half channel there. We're going to reverse. This was an earlier predicted level, and we hit it. We came off of this AI line, bounced back up. So we're just meandering here. So now, yeah, trading hammock. There you go. Now, where are we going? So we've got our next double AI predicted line. Our Fibonacci AI line is down here. Now, could we hit that? Absolutely, we could. I'll show you why. Let's do this backwards. I'm going to show you the move that I expect to happen. Then we're going to reverse plug this into TA and prove that I know what I'm talking about. So we're going to go from here to that AI line. Now, where can we pick up a move of that? This is what we call velocity, this distance. We can pick it up right there. From that AI line to that AI line. I can actually dial it in a little bit. From that line right there, that is a velocity move that we can plug in. Voila, right there. That's our next move. All right. So what that does is that changes the pitch of our trench a little bit. Not a whole lot, but let me mess with this just a little bit. If we go up further, I may not want to do this just yet. So, in fact, I think I'm going to wait on that because I don't want to give too much away for free on YouTube here. So, you guys that want to know more on that, just check in with us on the Platinum. I'll tell you what's next for this. But as far as 1 inch goes, you know, it's going to go down like this. I mean, I'm not making any bottom calls on this, but again, 1 inch of these decentralized exchanges, all 4 of these are decentralized exchanges. This has been your market leader. Then it lost a lot of spit shine. Went up to, I think, was it $64? It went crazy. But it's just been giving it back the whole way. I haven't looked at it for so long because it's yesterday's news. Wow, man, that thing is just dead. Just dead. I mean, its glory days are very far behind it. And again, see, there's that call. Just crazy calls. Ta-da! Hitting it. So, Uniswap, would I ever own Uniswap anymore? No, I really wouldn't, because I've made the case for it. I mean, this thing is just a dinosaur compared to this thing anymore. These two have their days. Pancake is just, oh my God, it's in flux right now. It's kind of just flat on its face right now too, but it's had its days, it's had its run-ups. I'm not a big believer in any of these because when you compare all of these, Sushi's another one that's good, but these two right here are traded on Coinbase. Sushi does have a little bit going for it. You can see it in the volatility, and this is basically because Coinbase is, you can pick this up on Coinbase, so it's easier to get into and out of, so that would explain the volatility a little bit more than it would the other two. However, you know, you're looking at $6.26 for an okay swap site, and you're looking at 1 inch at $1.72. This thing just absolutely tramples all the others as far as like technological viability, and as far as just use case, and as far as just a nice clean interface, and it does price shopping for you. I mean, it just checks off all the boxes. So I have to ask myself, why the hell is this thing so cheap? Because it's just not its time. Okay, so what you've got is an underappreciated asset in a down. Let me try to lay this out. You've got an underappreciated asset in the bearish part of a bull market. That's a mouthful. What I'm saying is you've got a double push down on something that it's like trying to push a balloon underwater, a basketball underwater. You can only hold this down for so long, and when this thing comes up, you better not have your chin over top of it because it's going to take your head off. This thing, when it comes up, it's going to come up fast. I believe, yeah, Red Bear did. If you guys want to know a little bit more about this, I don't think there's any need to belabor this. Simply just subscribe to our channel here. And Red Bear, who goes by Spirit Bear here, is our technical guru, and he does what we call our deep dives, our crypto deep dives. And he did a deep dive on 1 inch and talking about what it is and what it does and why you want to own it. So be sure to subscribe to our channel and go into our deep dive library here on YouTube and have a listen to what he has to say about this. So he's going to eventually be covering all of these different coins that we cover in Platinum, and you'll know a whole lot about them before we're all said and done. Yes, 1inch.io. You can buy 1 inch on Coinbase, but the actual exchange, see, that's kind of the funny thing. Like if you wanted to buy Reef, you can go to 1inch.io, which is the actual swap site. If you want to buy the coin 1 inch, you can buy it on Coinbase. Yeah, I wouldn't, Jonathan, I wouldn't be jacking around trying to buy anything on Binance right now. So now Populous, you know, we hit or miss. I don't cover everything on free live stream. This is why you want to subscribe over there at Fibicharts. But oh boy, that big old run right there. I told everybody when that happened, it will not hold, folks. You guys that were subscribing, you know what I said. This will not hold. Boom, boom, boom. And I also said it's going to come right back down here. That's why I made this mark. I said this is going to give it back slowly, and lo and behold, exactly as I told you. It's giving back. Now, what comes next? Well, this is just it. This is just Populus doing what Populus does. This has nothing to do with the broader market crash. I know why this happened. It's because it's a good coin. It's because people are buying in on this because they know it's a factoring coin. Red Bear, Spare Bear will be covering Populus. We've talked about it in the past, but he's going to be doing a deep dive on this at some point in time because I think it bears a deeper dive to understand why you want to own this because it's a not VeChain, but it's in the same element for business usage. As much as you need VeChain for business, you need Populus for business. Let's just leave it at that. But we do cover an awful lot of stuff about Populus, and it's got some other coins attached to it and stuff like that. And so, yeah, it's an amazing. So I said, yeah, I can confirm. I said everybody that, you know, this is not going to hold. It's going to go down. So lo and behold. So now what's going to happen here? Well, I've got this little ghosty ghost thing happening right here. What about this lonely little guy? Let's go ahead and make him yellow because no longer it's starry. Yellow means we have a higher degree of probability. So what are we looking at? We're looking at, let's go ahead and just, I think it's going to be off screen. Let's go ahead and put that right there. So that's going to be our inevitable checkout point, not a buying point. I think we're going to go even lower. But from here to here, could very well be the call, though. That's 58%. So let's just consider that a possibility. I'm not going to go full on call that the bottom, but I think we're going to be in that neighborhood. We're going to be very, very close to that neighborhood. Now, on the shorter term, we want to get out of this box effectively. So we have a couple of different things that we want to achieve here with Populus. First of all, we want to get out of this orange box below it. We want to start flirting in this area right here. I want to get into this area right here. So I want to go from here to here, and then from here to here, and then out and down. So we're going to be seeing three basic general moves. There'll be, you know, some variation, but those three things need to come into play in order to get Populus down to a buying point. Now, Populus at 60 cents, holy cow, man. You want to talk about something that's going to turn around and potentially give you some good money. This is not a long-term hodl coin for me, but if you guys like to make fast money, you know, I can't guarantee anything. I don't give financial advice, of course. But if you study the history of Populus, how often and how wild and how nasty these swings can be, nasty in a good way from the bottom up. You study how crazy you wake up one morning, oh, Jesus, I'm a millionaire, you know. If you put enough money in this thing, and you don't take very much, can somebody please remind me? I don't want to go back in the charts. Can somebody please remind me the all-time high for this damn thing? I mean, obviously past performance doesn't, but it's believable that we'll hit that again, and we will go back. By the way, I see Mandala. Mandala is going to be the next thing we're adding to to platinum. By the way, meant to do that the other day, we didn't get around to it. So Mandala is going to be added to platinum. $70. There you go. Holy hell, guys. So if this thing drops down to 58 cents, let's just call it 60, drops down to 60 cents and then turns and goes north, 75, turns and goes north to 70 to $75. Shit. You know what I'm saying? That's a good day. That's a damn good day. And it'll probably be about a day. Probably be about less than a week would be my guess, because that's just the way this coin moves. I mean, look at this thing. This thing just did crazy. Whoops, excuse me. This thing just did a crazy move. I mean, this is how this coin is. It just moves like this. And if it gets a good run, what was that? I mean, that thing went in the span of basically about 18 hours. It ran up 130% in 18 hours. So don't think it can't be done. Now, along those lines, when we get to the end of this, completely to the end of all this, you know, happier days are now on the horizon, and we're seeing things come up, and, you know, we're getting back on the program, and crypto is now the new adoption, and everybody does it, everybody understands it, everybody uses it. What are we going to be seeing? We're going to be seeing these kind of moves with all cryptos daily. I mean, you're going to be falling over profits. I mean, it's just going to be like a kid in the candy land with $100 in his pocket. You just don't know what to buy first and what to get a big old buy at first. It's going to be a tough thing to do. So this is why I say you want to be subscribed to the charts. You want to be part of the kind of the unfairadvantage.chat. I would highly prescribe that you get involved in the highest level, which is the platinum, because we do deeper dives and breakdowns sometimes on these things when I'm giving away a lot for free here, but I do what's called a VIP strictly for the VIP people, where I give prices and times. I'm a lot less vague, so it's well worth the money that you spend. And but more to the point here is we're going to be seeing these things where it's going to be, oh shit, what I'm going to buy. It's everything's popping, and what should I be buying? And my DMs are going to be filled with you guys. What should I buy? What should I buy? And I'm going to be answering the same question over and over and over. And it's really, honestly, this is the thing. If you guys subscribe and you listen, you learn what I have to say right now, you're not going to have those questions because you already know, because I've already said what I think. We're already due for a massive pump for the entire crypto market. Some are going to do a lot better than others. All boats will float. But do you want to be in a yacht, or do you want to be in that little thing that you got to blow up with a hand pump? I mean, but it's all going to float. All right. So the thing is we're looking for the yachts. We're looking for the fast ponies. Faster horses, bigger boats. That's what we're looking for. All right. So, and there are roughly about 4 or 5 of those. And, not to give anything too much away, but obviously XRP is very much at the forefront of that. But there's also others that are behind that. And so we'll talk about that in Platinum chats and VIP chats. And as things start to get to the end of this month, we're going to have our first little jiggle in the market, is what I'm predicting here, probably in the next 10 days, if not sooner. And that's not going to be the one. But when we do get to the one, at the time that I broke down, if you didn't get a chance to, you don't have to be a subscriber to the charts, but if you just want to listen to me I really dive deep into a lot of things. If you want to go over to Fibicharts.com and subscribe to the Crypto Roundtable, you get 15-day access to kind of listen to my take. If you like my stories, if you liked what I talk about, if you kind of like if you're picking up what I'm putting down here and you like to hear a little bit more about what I think the world has coming. I am very plugged in to the world. I'm a 30-year investor. I deal with an esoteric group that deals with some very powerful people. So you're not hearing theory here, you're hearing fact. Have it on good authority. That when I tell you the things I tell you, I do not tell you because it's my opinion. I tell you because it's fact, proven and vetted by people that are well above my pay grade that I happen to associate with. So I'm talking about high-level bankers. I'm talking about military people. I'm talking about channelers, psychics. I mean, whatever discipline you want to inject in that. I'm part of a group that is made up of all those people that are formed last year, and their sole mission and purpose is to develop a system of which I'm part of, to be able to advise the world leaders on events and stuff like that. So you've got a backdoor access to some very powerful information here, so capitalize on it. So if you kind of like to hear a little bit about what your world's going to be like between now and the end of the year, it will be quite eye-opening, and what to do about it. Go ahead and take a shot. It's worth a couple $100 to have a listen to what I have to say. Go ahead and join our Crypto Roundtable. You can do that at Fibicharts.com at the bottom of the subscription page. Have a listen, and I'm sure you'll be quite impressed. So, all right, so that's enough. A little pitch on that. I'm not much of a pitch man. I just like to kind of get it out there every once in a while. So we're liking Populous. So we're liking Reef. Let's go back and take a look at Reef again. Now again, I'm so poised, waiting to just barrel at this thing with every, sell blood, sell kidneys, don't need that extra couch downstairs, fucking sell it all, man, because this thing right here, I would bet that probably, I don't know what we got, about 700 people in our group. I would bet easily 400 people in our group, the real serious people that are listening to me. I'll bet 400 people in our group are probably ready to throw down on this thing. Our group is not a huge group, but it's getting bigger all the time. And we keep it purposely small. We don't let, we control our chat groups very, very militantly. I don't let them go to crap. I mean, we don't like spammers. We don't like marketers. They don't last very long. They last like milliseconds, and our our guys chuck them out. We don't let that crap come in. And so we've got about 400 people that are ready to kind of follow me through the door on this. And it doesn't take a massive turn on this thing when you're buying them this cheap, because if you buy this a penny and it goes to 2 pennies, well, it didn't go to $3.36. Yes, but you just made 100% return on your money. Well, it only went to 303 cents. Well, yes, but you just made 300% on your money. I mean, get a grip. I mean, this thing, as I see it, and again, I'm not making a pitch, and I do what you want to do. As I see this is about as sucker money bet as you can possibly get. This thing is so dirty cheap. I mean, let's compare apples and oranges. Some of you guys are big into, and I put it on here. I am not yet sold on the concept of Shiba. I'm just not. I'm not. Because I've had several of you guys, well, could you put Shiba up? Sure, I'll put Shiba up. I put it up right here. I said, I don't like it, guys. Don't think it's going to hold ground. Oh, but. Okay. Then, around about the time I started to talk, down she went, and I put in my first call. Guys, it's going to go down. No, but. Down it went. Double confirmation. But. Down it went. Second confirmation. And down, and down, and down. And I even went so far as to put this box. We have someone who is a very ardent follower of this. I put a call in all this time ago. It went up. I said, it's going down to here. And it went up, but, and I tracked it all the way back down, and look where we're at, right here. Boom. Exactly where I said it was going to hit, right there. So, and we did actually hit one time, but I said it's going to come back. And it did come back again. Now, do you think that I might be wrong about the other two calls that I've got here that haven't been achieved yet? I don't. So here's the thing about this. Whatever you believe about this, I believe more about this. Let's compare apples and oranges. Who's the buyer on this? And I always like to kind of say this jokingly, skateboard kids. I say skateboard kids because I group that from 20-year-olds and down. People who have no financial acumen, have no skin in the game. It's got a cute dog. Reef has a fish, I think. I don't know. But here's the thing. What is this at its element? It's a trade site. Okay. Have you ever seen those before? I have. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so you tell me, what's so goddamn special about this? Well, Elon Musk likes it. Okay, well, he makes shitty cars. I'm an automotive engineer. I know shitty cars when I see them. So, okay, what else you got? But it does this and it does that. Great. Where's the money, the big money, the respectable money, the old school money? It is crickets in this neighborhood. There's none of it in this. And I want you to understand that. I want you to absolutely understand that. Yes, I'll go ahead and track and chart it for you, but until I'm going to beat this into your head. Where is the Rockefellers? Where is the Rothschilds? They don't come into this neighborhood. They just don't. But they are in this neighborhood. Make no mistake about it. And never, ever, ever bet against a banker. Never, ever bet against big money. So this is a penny. This is sub-penny. Great, fine. But what we're after is we're after exponential. Now, there's been some psychics that say that this is going to go up, and there's been some woo-woo people. Fine, I'm not doubting that. But my level of sleep is already light enough as it is. I don't have anything that I personally, as a 30-year investor, that understand how markets move, and that I do, my professionalism and my experience and my understanding and my intuition and stuff like that. Nothing about this makes my head hit the pillow and sleep the sleep of the dead. It does with Reef, because I know what this thing does. I've seen the practical applications of it, and I know it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. This is a matter of hope. It's a matter of maybe. It's a matter of speculation, backed by a bunch of wild lemmings that don't have financial acumen. If the herd decides to run off the cliff, they're going to take your money with them. That's what I want you to understand. So be afraid, be very afraid. If you want to go ahead and venture in this neighborhood, you do it. You don't do it with my blessing. I will track it, and I will chart it, and I will show you what I see happening. But, if you want to give me an I told you so, fine. But I'm also going to give you one on my side, too. So what if you get the same degree of return as I do? I slept better than you did. That's basically the way I'm saying. I don't crap talk. I don't crap talk just for sport, although it seems like it. I want to put a very fine point on the fact that, you have options. You're holding your little $600 stimmy check. I'm going to go buy that cute doggy coin. Oh, please don't. Please don't. Because, $600 can go just like that. I'll answer your electric car question here in a second. And the thing is like, you make one bad decision with your little $600 stimmy check, if that's all you got, you're out of the game. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, didn't. So this is not a foundation to build an empire on. You know what I'm saying? And I hope these words of wisdom are seeping into your head, and I really do. You're looking for Civic. Please, God, don't buy a Honda. So let's talk electric cars here for a second. He's referencing a conversation we had the other night on Roundtable when I was talking about the future of gasoline cars and stuff like that, and it's not looking good. I didn't really finish. We are going to do a second roundtable, so if you guys do get into, I know you guys are pushing because I don't think you got enough of my rant. I went for about an hour and a half. I could have said a lot more than I said, but I kind of. I could have said a lot more than I did, but you never know. I don't even know what's coming out of my mouth next. So I just kind of wind me up and just set me off. I'm entertaining in and of itself. So or at least I like to think I am. You guys think I am. So I'm going to be doing another roundtable to kind of maybe close up some ends on some of the stuff and follow up. So you guys that subscribe to Roundtable to this discussion segment have 15-day access to go back and listen to the one that I've already done. And I will do another one probably in about a week because we're going to have a little talk about what's going to happen here this week. Because when something happens, and it will happen, I'm probably going to want to have my say about it, and I'll do that within the environment of Crypto Roundtable is actually what I do, and rarely, but I do for diamonds. And I will always give that opportunity. I haven't really done a lot with diamonds recently because there just hasn't been that much to do. I mean, we're waiting for the bottom, but as the market starts to go up, I'm going to be a lot more active with diamonds and platinum, of course, with all levels talking. But this was much more of a wide be prepared for what's coming because, guys, without kind of giving you a dissertation on who I am and my experience and who I'm connected to. I see things it helps me lose sleep at night, guys. And the things that are coming is absolutely horrific. And, I kind of feel like Noah, I'm building this boat. Who wants to get on it? And there's a lot of people that don't, I've heard this before. Have you? But have you done anything about it? And so what we talked about is an action plan. Between now and I'll be vague about this because I gave specifics on Roundtable. Between now and the next, let's say 3-4 months, to be specific, there's going to be a series of events that are going to happen that are going to wipe out everything you hold near and dear. And I covered at great length what to do about that and how to be prepared for it. What you think, if you think that these cryptos are going to help you provide a brass ring where you're going to swing above the tree line and everybody else is going to fall into the tar pits. I'm here to tell you right now that if you spend a subscription and you subscribe to that chat and you listen, I'm going to disassemble your thought process on that. But I'm also going to give you an alternative and a backup and help you get through this because the folks that are selling crypto as the way to escape not death trap, I don't want to say that. The folks that are selling crypto as the escape pod, that's a good way to say it, as the escape pod that will keep you out of the shit, are selling you a dead bill of goods. We're all going down with this, guys. It's what you expect to have happen during that time and how long. That's what matters. And so I go into great length how to prepare for this because crypto's got bad news for you, are not going to come up until this whole thing is over and done with. And it's not going to be an easy process. There's going to be a lot of loss of life. I started my show. I clipped that a little bit. I was kind of a bit of a wreck when I started the show because my next door neighbor, Dave, good friend of mine, good solid patriot, anti VAXer, believes all that stuff like that, believes all the stuff that most logical patriots believe. Good salt of the earth guy. He's now on his deathbed, and he's literally 12 feet outside this window is his house, and he's been put on a breather, and he's not gonna make it, guys. He's not gonna make it. So it's coming to me, and so I got that news before going on air for Roundtable, so that kind of busted me up a little bit. It took me a couple minutes to get my shit together. But I will be updating everybody on that because I know a lot of people have asked, how's Dave doing? I've gotten no news today, but I suspect he'll probably be gone. He'll probably be not long for this world by Friday, guys. It's my intuition speaking very loudly. This is a real thing. I'm not a mask advocate. I mean, there's a deeper, bigger story going on here. We won't get into that, but As far as are people dying? Yes, they are dying. What's killing them? That we're not going to discuss that. That's not what this. That's not what we're here for. But this all factors into our money. We've got to make smart decisions in order to be able to survive and stuff like that. So, anyway, let's go ahead and get back to a little happier subject, or a little more hopefully happier subjects. All right, so let's talk about Matic. So Matic is one now. Again, I want to. Um, Here it is again. There's a call. Boom, hit it. And again, I kind of sketched these out. We fell right into the box, rejected off the top. When I make these boxes, how a box is usually dealt with is we hit it, we reject it, we think about it, we fall into the box. It's 3 stages. We ricochet off the top, we eventually go into it, and then we capitulate and fall out of it. So stage 1 achieved perfectly. We are in a downward channel. No reason to believe that we are not going to continue this. We are checking in with the 200 range. Our next move is we're going to go in, we're going to find ourselves in the box, and then doing business, and we're on our way down to the bottom with this thing. Now, this is Matic. Now, Matic, if you go back and listen to my past live streams, I sounded like I was a hater. I wasn't a hater. I was a hater for what I was seeing. This thing had gone up 100%, fell 100%, gave back 100% of what it made. That's not normal. That screams huge manipulation. My guys, don't get in this. Then it turned around, went up 90% of the last run up. Then it gave back 45%. That's what you would expect. I'm like, what the hell am I looking at? And I really hadn't done an awful lot of deep dives. I put Matic on just recently because I do believe in it. I thought it was good. A lot of you guys were Matic. And then I'm looking at this going, guys, if you're in this, you're going to get fucking burned. And I was right. Because people, I want to buy it. And so there's a lot of people that bought it. And I know, I don't have to ask, I know a lot of you guys are holding this thing at a negative, which is fine because it will come around. But I did tell you that I didn't feel good about this. Let's go back and try to visit that area. So again, these calls were going in. I'm saying it's going to go down. Here's a short term, did that one. Here's a long term, did that one. Checked off on that one. Double confirmation, there it is. Box, all the way down. Now that we are through that, I'm going to pivot and start calling Matic something that's worth looking at. When Matic gets to the bottom, what's the bottom, RB? What have I told you? We're watching for Bitcoin at its price, XRP at its price. Then we're going to cast our glance over at Matic and see what Matic's doing. And at that point in time, we're going to buy it. Matic, as I see it, as I know about it, is one you want to own. Top 20 coins. It's going to be a part of the world structure. I believe that. Good money involved in this. Big money involved in this. I just didn't like what I saw going in. But now that we're through all that and it's following the formula, everything else is going down. It's going down too. Now it's acting like a good boy and it's falling in line. So when Matic gets down to its inevitable, let's go ahead and play some numbers just to be fun. So we've already got these lines here are some of our higher end subscribers, our diamonds, have got some buys set. Let's check their math and see. So if we come down to our first green line, that's a 61% drop. Could that happen? Yes, it could. Because as I said, if Bitcoin's going to drop 50%, lesser coins are going to drop exponentially more. So I do believe that. I'm a believer in that green line. These are all basically, some of these are, all these lines, green colors, wide dashes, dots, those are just different people. I denote different investors by and I'm watching their portfolios and we have discussions. That's why I have these on the public charts. So so basically this first guy believes that we're going to be here. The most aggressive, who is a diamond, by the way, same guy, double purchase, he's laddering in. He wants to buy it 70% and 81%. Good luck with that. I don't. This is a guy that's got more money than he knows what to do with. So, he's looking for happy accidents and, he's looking for wild card plays because he's got that kind of money he can do that with. This is not a solid call for the rest of y'all to be involved in. Green one, it's a little hopey, but I would be in there with you at green. If I was wanting Matic and looking to put in a buy order and looking to just go, okay, I'm going to put it in right now because RB says the whole market's going to go into the shitter and everything's going to go down. And, I want to be there. So if I'm sleeping and this happens in the middle of the night, which is highly likely it will happen for you folks in North America, because Asia, 10 times more of them than there are of us. They move markets much more viciously in the middle of the night when you're sleeping. Ever notice you wake up in the morning and go, oh my God, what the hell happened? Asia happened. That's what they do. So usually my time, about 10 o'clock at night, that's when the fun begins, and it doesn't end until usually most people get up at a decent time in the morning. Usually about 8 o'clock in the morning, you find out what the hell happened. Most of the time, you're not very happy about it. This is why one of the reasons I stay up late at night is because I'm watching. I want to at least see how the show starts. And last night was a very clear indicator of what I'm talking about, a very clear example of what I'm talking about. So back to this. We're just going to meander down here. We're probably going to be down here testing that last low down at about 62 cents. Now, I'm not suggesting we're going to go in one fell swoop from here to here, but, if we continue for the next couple of days to find our way down to like right here, we could go from here to here, which ain't no thing, and we could go from here to here and easily drop 46%. Easily drop on a hard smash. So that might be the play. We might be doing something with Matic where we might come down here a little bit, come down into here, do this a little bit, stay within the channel, and then finally when we get the drop, smack there, and that might give us the wick, and this dude might get lucky. You never know. He just has that kind of luck. He didn't become a billionaire by being stupid, So, and we do have some billionaires. We have 2 billionaires in our group, who shall remain nameless, but we do have that level of money. On one end, we have a Johannesburg, South African potato farmer, and the other end, we got multi-billionaires in our group, and we all treat each other with the exact respect. You'd never know who the rich people are in our group. You never would, because everybody kind of all acts on the same playing field, and it's nice to be a part of that. So you guys are drifting into the chat. Again, my name is Red Baron. Thank you very much for joining us, and you can join us over if you want to join. You want to get the charts that I'm using, powered by AI, powered by Anubis and ISIS, our long-range and short-range automated intelligence bots that are built into only our charts, and nowhere else can you get them. But at Fibicharts.com, you can do that. And of course, we'd love to have you join us over at our free Discord, which is what I do, over at the unfairadvantage.chat, where we have our group discussions, our deeper discussions on what we're going on. Of course, obviously, we'd love to have you join, like, and subscribe to the channel. Share us out to everybody else if you're impressed by what you see. If you've never seen anything quite like this before, I'm sure that a lot of your friends probably haven't either. So be sure to share the love, share the religion of the magic chicken bones. That's what we euphemistically refer to and laughingly refer to this chart. More specifically, we call it the unfair advantage. So we'd love to have you kind of help us spread the word and get out there to those people who desperately, desperately need to have authoritative adult help. And that's what we're here to do. Okay, one more pops to mind, Flamingo. We haven't been talking Flamingo for a long time. Now, I told you guys that I like Flamingo at 40 cents. I love it at 30 cents when it was on its way up. I introduced it when it was there, and off she went, man. She went straight up. I can't get over there to the chart. But now that we're in a depression, we're dropped down. Well, hey, look where we're at. We're right in the bottom of the box where I suggest that we're at 30 cents. Anything below this box is doing better than my original tell of everybody to get in on this thing if they have a chance. Now that it's here, we are definitely going to go lower. I'm looking at this green box, which is probably in the neighborhood, worst case scenario. You're looking at about a 40% drop there. I'm not suggesting at the bottom, but we could get down to 20 cents, maybe even 19 cents or lower. So Flamingo is following along the narrative just like everything else is. But anything, by and large, you can feel good about. Anything bought below this is just fine. Thank you very much. This is a liquidity token. It's not paying out like it used to. It used to pay over 100% return on your money in less than a year. Where's it at, Spirit Bear? Is it at, what'd you tell me, 35%? Still paying 35%, if I remember correctly. He'll put the actual number, but still not too bad. Go to your bank and ask Mr. Banker if he'll give you 35% return on your money this year. I'm doubting he probably will. Let's go ahead and take a look at Tell, because Tell is one of our new additions to the platinum level. Tell is one that brought to us by Bear. And again, now, we haven't really discussed this again. This is what we call the unfair advantage grid. This is our unique thing. These are time markers. Tells us when something's about to happen. Let me give you an example. You will not find this on any other grid, on any other YouTuber. Nobody else has this. This is my invention. I'm a automotive engineer, but I'm also an engineer in general. I have 3 masters in engineering. I am a chronic tinkerer, Freudian slip. I'm a chronic tinkerer that likes to take things apart and see how they work. And I just can't help myself. It's a sick compulsion. So I looked at this and I'm like, God, there's got to be, I used to program video games and I understand how computers work. And so I looked at this and I said, there's got to be something in here that can be predicted. And so I went through this and I started to play with this and I started to figure out that there's what we call a pulse. Now a pulse, I haven't talked about this for a while. A computer works like this, and I always have to fall back to the old explanations. So we already explained what these are. These are rise markers. You can tell when things are going to interact with them. That's part of ISIS. Now the pulse markers are something completely different. Pulse markers are an element of ISIS, but it's something completely unique. 2-minute Diet Pepsi, haha, you're fucking hilarious. True though. Yeah, the bathroom is almost my second office. You drink 12 of them a day like I do. No, I don't drink 12. I drink about 8. So anyway, the pulse markers are this. So basically, what I looked at this, I said, when you look at computers, basically what it is they work on a clock cycle where every certain period of time they make a decision. All right. And they work off of the time factors. And obviously, IC chips have that clock cycle built into them. So let me give you an example. If you ever play the game Pac-Man, you watch the little ghosts that they run around, and you never notice the ghost will go this way, and just for some reason, just no reason, it'll just turn and go the other direction for no reason. I mean, you're not being chased or whatever. You just notice how they just seem to just stop for no reason in their tracks and go the other direction. The reason why they do that is because they're acting according to what's called an if-then narrative. That's an old programming language called BASIC. If it does this, then do that. There is an if-then scenario built into the market. And I won't get into the deeper part of that. However, let's just talk pulse markers. So what pulse markers are is there are only so many moves on the chessboard that is the crypto market or stock market if you prefer. A stock can go up or a crypto can go up. It can go down. It can go up and down. It can go down and up, or it can just go basically nothing. Okay? By and large, those are the moves. It's kind of like when you play chess. The king can only do certain moves. The queen can do most of the moves. Your rooks can only do certain things. That's the way the game is played. Those are the rules of the game. Okay? Once you understand this concept, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 basic moves. There's a few others we won't get into right now. But 5 basic moves. You can apply them to our grid with stunning accuracy. Let me show you how this works. And this will get ready to see something you've never seen before if you guys are new on live stream. When a computer goes along and it hits, we'll call it a pulse. It will apply one of these moves. It'll go along and it'll go, okay, it'll check. At this point in time, a pulse, it's checking in with itself. If a condition is such, then do this. All right? It does that. And then it gets to the next pulse marker, and it does another thing. And it says, if the condition is such, if there's too many buyers or too many sellers, then do this. All right? And we'll run it down. And if it's too much, then we'll bring it back up. Okay? But every single time we hit a pulse marker, we're making one of these 5 decisions. Is that the truth? Let me show you. Get ready to see something you've never seen before. Right on that marker. Boom! Reversal. Up. Down we go. Goes across. Boom! Reversal. Right on that thing right there. Every single time it hits a pulse marker. My pulse markers have to go back over here. When you get over here to these pulse markers and you start to see, now these divides, this is at what we call a half pulse marker. But you can see these things are moving. Look at the interaction with the pulse marker. It goes up. It reverses direction. It goes across. It hits it, goes sideways. But every time it hits, look at this. Boom. It hits that, drops down to the half. Goes up, drops down. Goes up, drops down. Goes across. We get these decisions, and when you start to see this stuff and start to understand how this works, you start to go, pulse marker's coming up, something's about to happen. How do we know what to do about it? That's what we use this stuff for. Then we start to plug this grid in. We start to say, okay, so let me give you a scenario here. If we're coming up to a pulse marker, and let's say we're going across here, and that's a bad example. Let's go ahead. Let's say we're coming to a pulse marker here. We just hit a pulse marker. Now, all the indicators might be showing positive. Okay, so this might be showing positive, positive. Our Bollinger Band is expanding or whatever. We can expect an up. Now, if we're plugging TA that says, okay, we got a velocity of about this much. That's got to play out at some point in time. Okay, so we know. We'll just go ahead and do this. We know this distance, according to standard TA, which is what every joker's got. They don't have any of this grid, but they know this has to play out. Most of the time, 60% or 50% of the time, it'll do that, okay? But we're at this point right here. We've got this grid right here. We've got this magic double line we've talked about a couple of times. We have all of our markers saying it looks like everything is going to go up. Now we can look at our grid, which we can say, wham, right there. And when it hits that pulse marker, it's going to make a move. And where's it going to move? Infallibly, it's going to move. The velocity is dictated by the TA, hit the double pulse marker that's dictated by the AI bots, and you can start to group all of this stuff together and start to get a very clear narrative. Now, we maintain almost a 95% accuracy. With odds like that, you will get thrown out of Las Vegas. If you were to walk into Las Vegas and come out with 95% blackjack wins, you would probably be escorted to the edge of town and told never come back, with far less odds than 95%. On a bad day, which was several months ago when things were just not working. You know, you can't account for manipulation. I mean, sometimes even when I've got a play that should play out, the market will just screw with us just to take everybody's money, because you got to account for that wild card every once in a while. That's where you lose that other 6-7% that you just can't be 100. No system is 100%. You know, if it were, then I wouldn't be talking to you. I'd be living on an island somewhere, rolling in more cash than I could possibly count. But the thing about it is this. If you have those kind of odds, you've only got to be right, as the old saying goes. You've got to be right more than you got to be wrong. I mean, the astronomical odds are so far in your favor with our system that it pushes the win column so far to our side that all you got to do is basically have a little faith and pick your entry. Simple. That's all you got to do. And show patience. Patience is the one wild card that I can't teach you. You have to learn it yourself. So many guys that subscribe to these charts and stuff like that, I still see you making moves that I said nothing about. Saw it yesterday. I think I'm going to play. I think I'm going to get in Bitcoin. I'm getting bored. Oh, brother, what are you doing? And I see you guys say that stuff in my chats, and I'm just like, now is not the time. You don't just throw money. That's not good sound financial advice, or it's just not good. You don't go out there and just start throwing money around because you're bored. I mean, that's a fast way to the poorhouse. I mean, how would you feel? Let's just say this, and I'll get off this topic. How would you feel if you got your money tied up in a stupid thing you shouldn't be doing, and then the market does move, and you're all tied up on the backside of a bad move or a bad investment that's going down? And you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. And then you're weeping and crying and moaning and wailing in my Discord, and we're all looking at you like you're a dumbass. No, they won't do that. But we're all going to say, what did you do that for? Because I can think of 3 or 4 people, and Zachary knows one of them. They'll tell you, hey, what are you doing? You shouldn't have done that. Nobody told you to do that. So I can't teach you. I can't teach you discipline, but I can teach you theory, and I can give you the right tools. Like whether you use. I can't teach you how to swing a hammer, but it's up to you to be able to use the right side of it. You don't start trying to bang in nails with the claw side of a hammer. I mean, I can't help you when you do that. So. Yeah, I'll look at XDC, no problem. Let's do XDC and let's get on out of here. It's like 1 o'clock. I got Domain is coming into town. He's on our thing. His Domain is coming into town. I'm going to meet up with him. We're going to get together. His daughter is in for some stem cell therapy and stuff like that. Some of you guys know a little bit about that. So he's coming through my town here a little bit. We're going to go out to eat, and I'm going to hang out with his family. So I'm looking forward to doing that here pretty soon. So go ahead and do XDC, which is another one that we just added to the thing. Now I'll see how this thing's going. Again, a couple calls. This is a call that went in. When I just listed this, I just threw a call in there just because. And again, bang, bang, bang. There it is. is. Second one. So we're looking good. So now, just broadly speaking, I'm not going to get into the depth of it. Not going to surprise. We're going to be in that area here real quick. That's obviously not the bottom call, but that's where I expect to see this the next time I live cast. So. See if I missed anything I want to cover here real quick. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So you guys didn't expect to have me pop in. I just wanted to get something on there because I know you guys are. It's getting fun, guys. It's getting exciting. So again, if you guys are new to the live stream, love to have you be a part of what we do. Don't need your money. If you just want to check us out, you're going to be your own best salesman. I don't need to sell you anything. Once you see this stuff go, you know very well that you're going to want to be a part of this because it speaks for itself. As the guys say in the chat, the work speaks for itself. I mean, when you get something that works, you can't keep a good secret hidden for very long. So join us over at the unfairadvantage.chat. My name is RB. I am from the unfairadvantage.chat. And if you want to subscribe to the AI charts, you go ahead and do that over at Fibicharts.com. Simply go over here to subscribe. And again, if you want to get in on that roundtable, you want to hear a little discussion about that, simply go to subscribe. And I would prescribe, obviously, if you want the full boat, then platinum. Platinum is where platinum pro is not what you want. Platinum level is right here. And we will definitely give you value far beyond what it is you do. But if you want to get in on the roundtable, that's right here. This is a one-time access thing. We will do a second video for that. So you'll definitely get far more than you thought you were going to get for your 15-day access. So, all right. So that's it for the Crypto Treehouse, boys and girls. Thank you very much for joining us. Until next time, be safe, be good at it. Peace and hair grease, baby.